Right. We should, hopefully, if all is well, be live. Let's just quickly double check. If we are live, good evening, everybody, and welcome in. We are having a few technical difficulties, so do bear with us. But we should be live.
Yeah,
we
that's
are
fine.
indeed live. Perfect. Okay, well, it's not the best setup, but it works. It's not great, but you can see the drivers. You can see me and Mikey. It gets the job done. I am going to move us up to the top right-hand side, though. So bear with as I just quickly drag us up there. And then put that back there. Right. Welcome in, everybody. A bit of a late start. A bit of a confusion as to how we were going to get this set up. My name's Jack. His name's Mikey. And he is the league owner. I'm the resident commentator slash podcast host slash anything Mikey wants me to be. Not in a weird way. I know what you lot think like. This is the 1v1 tournament. So, Mikey, you're probably going to be better at explaining this than I am. Obviously, we've already got a race going on. So, talk us through kind of what this format is.
It's pretty simple. It's 1v1. What you've got is you've got 32, not 32. You've got 30 drivers, but we'll have two of the closest losers will compete in the next round as well. But it's just a winner takes all. We'll do 3-lap races and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, so it's essentially 3-lap races. All of the first races are around Austria. Then round 2 is a different track. Round 3 is a different track. Blah, 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 blah. And this is your first round. Obviously, we are a bit late. This is Austria. This is NUFC Tilly versus DJ. I don't know if there's been some sort of a collision or something, but it looks like Tilly's ran away with it. And it is going to be Tilly that wins the first race. Now, this isn't going to be your usual scheduled commentary. This isn't going to be me screaming my head off and going absolutely mental. Me and Mikey just basically doing a watch along. So there'll probably be a bit of commentary involved in it as well. But it's going to be more of a chilled out approach. And me and Mikey just enjoying some of MOR's best racing away. So should be quite fun. Was this idea literally created last night during the podcast, Mikey?
Yeah. Yeah, it was in the last 5 minutes. Obviously, we had the suggestion to do a championship, and I said not currently because I believe it's sort of been seen somewhere else and someone's come along with it.
Yeah.
Which I don't like doing. I don't like taking people's ideas and stuff. So we thought instead of a championship, we'll just do a little tournament. Bit of fun, see if we get any people interact with it. Looks like we have. Just on the topic, JP, are we able to make us go up a little bit more just because we were blocking the leaderboard there? I just need to see the overall times.
Let's do that now. Move us up like.
But yeah, ideally in future, if we are to do this, we'll probably need to do it a little bit earlier in the day. Just
hopefully.
Because obviously being 10 o'clock at night, it's probably going to run till midnight. But yeah, it's clean racing, 3 laps, winner takes all. The winner gets premium for life. So hopefully that can be a bit of an enticement for them.
Yeah.
And see where we go from there.
So first round was obviously NUFC Tilly versus CJ. Mikey, do you have on hand what the second round is of this event?
So the second one is HT Llama racing against BP Ace, which is a very, very good race.
That's a big one.
Is Llama in there?
Llama. Where is Llama? Is he in here with us? He is not. Where is Llama?
So, someone needs to ping Llama.
Indeed. We need to get Llama.
Ace, I would recommend is if you just jump out of the car, we'll go to Kian and Ghost, and we'll tag Llama just to see whereabouts he is.
Yeah, so Kian and D Ghost, I assume you guys are watching. If you want to get in the cars, or oh no, Llama's here. He has turned up. All right, so we're all ready for round 2 then. And yeah, this is
going to be a good race.
This is basically the format. This is definitely going to be one of the bigger round 1 ties. Of course, you're most looking forward to the final, but in round 1 it has been a bit pace matched. It's not just random grids, so you're not going to have HCL Llama versus TTV Kian, for example. No offense, Kian. But you're not going to have a really quick driver versus a really slow driver. This is definitely one of the bigger round one races. So this should be very interesting. Mikey, any predictions? Who do we think is going to win? Because this isn't like, the races that we normally see these guys do, where it's a 50% race and you've got the strategy involved. It's 3 laps. One mistake can cost you.
Yeah, it's very tricky because obviously within 3 laps it's very hard to learn the battery. If this was Monaco, I'd say Llama would be winning, but obviously it's not. It's Austria, and Austria for me, BPAce is very good with its battery. So if I had to pick, I think I'd go with BPAce, but let's see what Llama can do. I wouldn't rule them out.
It should be interesting. This is definitely a weirder sort of tournament to what we initially had planned, which obviously was going to be the big giant marathon thing across the entire day. That I'm sure will be coming at some point in the future, but that requires a lot of setup and a lot of commitment from all the drivers and all that sort of thing. So we'll save that for a rainy day. But I mean, we made this not even 24 hours ago, Mikey. You came up with the idea. And we're now sat here tonight with many drivers that want to compete, many drivers that are competing, and a tournament format I honestly think may be redone in the future a good few times.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping so. Just replying to the chat, can we go? Ready up whenever. Ready. Lots of racing to do. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it can be quite a addictive little tournament. To be honest, I think it's very fun. It's different. It's almost the FA Cup of Formula One, isn't it? You just get drawn against other people. There could be some cup upsets, but I'll leave the start to you.
Well, we are getting away then. Llama was the man that started on pole position. It's random grid, I believe, so it just depends on who has the luck of the draw, really. Obviously, BP Ace then in second place. It's going to be an interesting little race, this, because the strategy isn't what you would expect it to be. It's a 3-lap shootout. You've kind of just got to completely go for 3 qualifying laps, really. Mikey, if you were in a race like this, do you reckon you'd have any sort of strategy, or would it just be balls to the wall, fucking go for it?
I mean, I was thinking about it earlier, and I think I retreated. I don't know if you've watched the Cycling Olympics where they sort of linger behind them, and then on the final part they will push. I
Yeah.
think I would probably sit behind and mirror battery management from the car in front, learn where they're building their battery on a track like this as well, and then just try and stick with them and just try and catch them out on the last lap. But it's a risky strategy. Um, but I'm just glad I'm not racing, to be honest, because I'd probably get too nervous.
It does seem very stressful. Llama leads us over the line to end lap 2 then. BP Ace right with him. Obviously, we'll have the overtake boost as well. That could make quite a big difference, especially on the final lap. It looks like they're pretty even on battery, to be honest. It looks like they're doing sort of the exact same thing, which I would have said is going to give the advantage to BP Ace. Because he's got the overtake boost, it gives you that little bit more power. If you're using the exact same battery, the law of physics would tell you if he's got more battery power, he's going to go straight through.
Yeah, I would say so. I think with BP Ace, what he needs to be doing here is probably charging now, making sure he's at full battery, getting the boost mode, and then maybe trying to make a send into turn 1. Let Llama re-overtake by burning and save his battery, but I mean he's on 30%, so I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He needs to go for it soon.
It looks like they're very similar on battery. 50% and 45% out of the final corner. It's the final lap already then. BP Ace does get the fastest lap. Towards turn 1, BP Ace I thought was going to take your advice there and dive down the inside. He's not gone for it. So now the Aston Martin settles in. He's ran out of battery, as has Llama. So it's a straight drag race. BP Ace gets the slipstream. He is coming down the inside. They do make a little bit of contact. A bit of a sideways moment for BP Ace as well. And I guess it's really just one more opportunity, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, it's good racing. These two I think have the potential to go all the way tonight. There's a few others in there that are really quick as well. But it's certainly a good start, and I think don't forget, don't rule one of these out. It's not give up in the last corner, because there is a potential for one of them going through by being the best loser, and being within the quickest or the smallest margin to the leader. So it's definitely not time to give up for BPAs. He's still definitely got a chance of getting through.
Most certainly. Round the final corner, then, it is going to be HTL Llama that progresses to round 2. BP Ace in second place. The gap, I think, was around 2.5 tenths of a second, and I don't imagine you're going to get much closer than that. He definitely went for the move at turn 3. It was close. They were wheel to wheel, a little bit of wheel banging, but nothing that I think either of them will complain about. It's about 4 tenths is the gap between BP Ace and Llama as they cross the line. 0.388 seconds. And that's already round 2 over. These do go quickly, but we've got plenty of them coming, so it's probably going to take a while.
Yeah, it's going to take a while, but again, I think it'll start going very quick. Now that we're into a swing of things, I think as soon as we get the next people racing straight away, and before you know it, it'll be the semi-finals. I think it's going to be one to keep an eye on, that's for sure.
Most certainly. Merc Caddy saying, who's the favourite to win this? Who do we think is the favourite to win a race like this, or win a tournament like this per se? To be honest, I'm not sure. I would have said someone like Solar, Llama. I would have put BP Ace up there, but obviously in round 1, sorry, he's now potentially down to the losers bracket. Mike, have you got a particular favourite for this at all?
I just want to check you can hear me.
Yeah.
I think my internet's stopped out.
Yeah, we can hear you all right.
Yeah, it's come back. That's cool. I've got no screen at the moment, so the internet's gone for me.
Oh, God.
I mean, looking at Llama there, definitely one to watch out for. You've got AERT Ollie, who is in there. You've got MCL. I think he's very good over a few laps. Andy, obviously BPA is out at the moment, but still a chance. Lawless Fever's shown they've got pace. Sanders got pace, and I think obviously the obvious one would be Solar. He's definitely one that can be sitting at the front, potentially going to win this race for sure.
It's going to be very close, I must say. We've now got D Ghost versus TTV Kian then. I would say this is honestly going to be one of the dark horse races. I think, in my opinion, and this might sound really weird, I'm excited for the lower level battles than the higher level battles. Because the higher level, they know where to use the battery, they know where to overtake, they know all the battery management, the lifting and coasting, blah, 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 and they just follow each other around. But for D Ghost and TTV Kian, who don't have that level of experience, this is going to be a scrap.
Yeah, I think this could be a very good race. I just hope it's clean. Obviously, that's the only risk you have when you do go to not the front running drivers. There is a chance for potential collisions, but I think everyone's quite respectful in this league, and hopefully we get to see another good race.
Most certainly. We're just waiting for everyone to get their setups on now. MUFC Harvey saying, I'm getting first rounded. Harvey, who is Harvey against, Mike?
MUFC Harvey is racing against, just find it on the list, King Fenrir.
King Fenrir. Oh,
that's another good fight. You've got MCL and Album Lover. That's a good one, but I'll leave the start to you.
So we get underway. Mercedes versus Red Bull. I feel like I've seen this script before, and if I have seen the script, I believe it's a Red Bull that comes out on top in this fight. So I'm quite looking forward to that, as TTV Kian is in the Red Bull, is gaining immediately towards the rear end of D Ghost. Up the hill and towards turn 3 we go. Red Bull with the inside line. D Ghost going a little bit deeper on the brakes. Kian gets the inside line and has got into the lead then, but this fight far from over yet. We've still got another 2.5 laps of this racing to go. D Ghost trying to challenge down into turn 4 around the outside. It's so close between them. Maybe a little bit of wheel banging. D Ghost now on the inside for turn 5. Kian gonna look to fly around the outside, trying to keep the position. Manages to do so. They're still wheel to wheel, these two cars. Brilliant fighting. A little bit more contact between them. Kian does get the position. What an opening lap that is.
That's incredible. I've been made to eat my words there, saying that you could get some contact and stuff, but I mean it's been a pretty good first lap. There's a little bit of contact at the end, but nothing malicious, and let's see what the next 2 laps bring.
It's definitely looking very, very close between them. I know Kian, I was in the VC with him earlier. He was really pumped for this and really wants to get through to the next couple of rounds. I've not heard from D Ghost, but I'm sure he's feeling the exact same way. Both of them, again, even not with having the esports tactics and levels and whatnot, are on a relatively the same battery. So I think it does speak for itself that Austria is a very hard track to try and maintain battery, isn't it?
It's very difficult, and you look at the gap 1.1, you think, oh, he's going to get away, but Kian sat with 0% battery there. And again, it's don't give up. Ghost doesn't need to give up here because there's still a chance that gets within that 3/10, a mistake from Kian, and he could well knock BPAce out here.
Exactly that. Kian is saving the battery though for the final lap. D-Ghost has gained back up to him, but doesn't have any battery to use. So definitely advantage Kian as we go on to lap 3. D-Ghost running a little bit wide as Kian now burning a little bit of that battery, pulling to the inside line to break the slipstream as well. D-Ghost not really with any battery, so all Kian's got to do is just keep it out of the barriers, out of the grass, out of the gravel, out of whatever there is to try and harm his race. And I think it is really advantage Kian here now. It seems...
I think he's done the hard part. D-Ghost has got no battery. I think it's plain sailing now, so hopefully Kian can keep control and keep going.
It definitely looks like he is. Into turn 4 we go. And the Red Bull 1.8 seconds ahead. I did say that Red Bull normally beat Mercedes, 2021, whatever happened in 2021, the Red Bull driver beat the Mercedes, good times, but it looks like we're getting a few shades of that today as Kian into the final sector then, and it is going to be TTV Kian unless he somehow finds the barriers in the final couple of corners, maybe recreates Max Verstappen at Austria this year, which we won't talk about. Back to Abu Dhabi 2021. As Kian then rounds the final corner, and it is Kian that is going to win. He is doing a bit of weaving, though. That's going to get D-Ghost a little bit closer. The gap at the end, 1.3 seconds, I think. So D-Ghost, he might have a chance to stay in. This is the second largest gap so far. That was only round 3. The gap in the opening round was about 7 seconds, I believe. But it was 1.340 seconds. The gap from Kian to D-Ghost. Kian advances to round 2 then.
So it's a good result for Kian, and that does mean that D-Ghost is unfortunately out of the tournament. There's only one slowest position that can take it, so yeah, he's now unfortunately out, but it's a good effort, and hopefully when we do it again, they can return.
Exactly that. We've got a lot of people in the chat. Ollie saying Kian is so pumped, and then I'm not going to say the second part of that message from Ollie Southall. It looks like a lot of people are happy that Kian has advanced to round 2. That was an incredible fight on the opening lap, I must say. That was gripping stuff.
Yeah, it's a great start so far, and hopefully it continues.
Chanaman
just
saying,
make a note of all of the winners and the next. I've got to update it as we go, so bear with me for just looking at the computer a bit.
No worries. Chanaman is saying we're the highest viewed F1 stream right now on Twitch.
When aren't we?
I'm gonna double check this.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Filter by viewers.
Apart from GB, obviously.
Well, yeah, we've got GB live, and then there's a few, I think, foreign relatively big content creators. We're the biggest league that is streaming right now, so we're taking that all the way to the bank. We're the biggest F1 league on Twitch. Llama says
next up, you've got Lawless Fever against Blake, which is going to be a very difficult game.
This should be interesting. Blake has obviously improved a lot recently, but Lawless Fever is very, very quick. Blake wasn't very confident in the VC coming into this. Chanaman said, I'm in a party with Blake. He said, if Lawless doesn't win, he's washed and the biggest flop in the league. Llama did also put in the chat, just want to say GG to Mikey for Monaco. 2 stops seemed tough.
It was a 3 stop. 3 stop. It was a 3-stop and it hurt a lot, but I still managed to get it done, thankfully.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
it
you
was.
beat me on the one stop, so.
Yeah, but is that something to brag about? I'm joking.
Ah, come on. This isn't the podcast. We're meant to be friends on this one.
That's funny. Sorry, yeah, I didn't mean that.
I'm heartbroken. I'm
Someone has
absolutely
just corrected me
heartbroken.
that I've already done the lineups wrong, which is great, fantastic.
Brilliant. Speaking of lineups, Blake is the man that is starting in front of Lawless Fever. Lawless Fever does get a good start though, but it is going to be Blake that leads into turn one. Blake obviously coming out swinging with those words and saying that if Lawless doesn't beat him, he's the biggest flop in the league. You can see Blake burning a lot of battery on lap one, down, well, up the hill, I should say, and Lawless still right with him. So Lawless might be very quick in a straight line, it seems. You can see Blake using a lot of battery. Lawless Fever not using as much and is still pulling wheel to wheel with the V-carb into turn 4. Blake not able... well, no, sorry. Lawless Fever not able to get past Blake, but you can see the battery difference. 20% difference already. Blake's got the position, but I wouldn't say the advantage is towards Blake at the moment.
No, it's not. It's very much, I'd say, in Lawless Fever's hands. I think he's very calm on the battery. I don't know what Blake's battery is right now, but Lawless isn't using any. He's sat on 80% before the last corner, so I think he'll make a push for it, or he could be hanging back for the final lap.
It's about 40% the difference, and Lawless Fever is not hanging about at all. He's getting forced towards the pit wall by Blake, trying to defend the position into turn one. That was very close, but good defending by Blake, forcing him off the racing line, then switching back at the last available moment. The issue is, the difference is about 30% in their battery. That is a lot of battery in a Formula One car.
It is a lot of battery, but if Blake does another lap like that, he has a chance. It depends. I think Lawless is going to go for it here.
It looks like he is trying it round the outside once again, not able to make a move. So it doesn't look like Lawless is hanging about, but the difference now nearly 50% in battery.
He's doing the old cycling sprint and wait until the end, I think.
It definitely looks like it. The Aston Martin tucked in behind the Red Bull is now going to use a bit of battery towards the penultimate corner. That forces Blake to use a bit more. And you can see the difference in battery. I only feel this is going to go one way, but Blake is still your leader. Out of the final corner we go then. Lawless Fever immediately with the power down, and there is nothing that Blake can do to try and fight it. He is going to pull back to the inside line. He keeps it on the road. Lawless Fever goes off. It's very close between them. Blake throwing a Hail Mary and just praying that it sticks. Running out of battery up the hill. It's the inside line for the V-carb. Hasn't got much battery. Lawless has got so much in his battery reserve to use. But Blake giving it absolutely everything to try and fight this as Lawless Fever now onto the grass to try and get past the V-carb. Not able to get away through. MOR Blake dying for the badge in Austria. As now down the inside goes Lawless Fever. Finally gets the position from Blake, who's going to throw it back down the inside and try and get it back as they touch through the final couple of corners. Lawless Fever is going to get the lead. Blake just has to give it up. Didn't have the battery to fight it. That got very, very close between Blake and Lawless Fever. And it is going to be Lawless Fever that takes the win and advances to round two.
Yeah, I mean, it was a close race. I feel like potentially towards the end, it would have probably gone to Lawless Fever on penalty there. I feel like Blake may have moved down the straight a little bit too much, but it was still a very good race up until then. And unlucky Blake, really. The gap was 1.755, so it does confirm that Blake is now out of the tournament.
That was very, very close. Blake was dying for the badge there, got MOR in the name, and was trying to stick with it. Very fair play to Blake for sticking with that and trying to keep with him. Oliver87 saying Blake gets a 5-second penalty. Defending was terrible.
It was definitely a hard-earned win for Lawless Fever, and most of that there I would say was fair. Even the send into turn one was a bit risky, but he kept it on the track and there was minimal contact. But yeah, the thing down the straight for me potentially got And see how Blake's got bigger elbows than Eddie Hall. Love that. That's great.
That is
So next
absolutely
up, we've
brilliant.
got Sander against Elijah.
Is Elijah
Elijah
in the lobby?
If not, then that would be one for Deckers.
I can't see Elijah in the lobby anywhere, unless his EA name is different. I can't see Sander in the lobby either. Now that I look, no. Sander
No?
says he needs an invite. Let's get Sander in. Do I have Elijah added? That
Right,
is
if we
a
can
great
get
question. No, I can't see Elijah on the friends list.
So I've just asked for Merck and Mattis Tell Lover to go now, just so that we're not sitting and waiting around too much.
Yeah.
If they could go, that'd be good.
Bobby saying, JP, have you seen JC's voice crack? I've seen one from a while back. I don't know if there was a different one today, but we're all susceptible to it in the streams, especially, you know, you're commentating for a few hours, you haven't really had a drink yet. It's it gets pretty shaky. Sander is now in. Sander, if you can go into spectator again, we're gonna run Merc versus Fabian first, as Elijah is not here at the moment. Right, we're all ready then, so it will be Merc versus Fabian Best then.
Yes, so we'll do that one next. And then we'll go back to Sander, which will be Deckers.
Okay, so we'll have to get Deckers in the session.
Yeah, Deckers is in the chat now trying to sort it.
So perfect.
That's good. So Sanders against Deckers, perfect. Remember, I believe someone will get them in now.
Beautiful. Yes. Okay. Perfect. On the grid then, it is Merc versus Fabian. I believe Fabian in the V-Carb. I'm going to be heartbroken if Merc isn't in a Merc. It has to happen. Surely, you can't call yourself Merc and not drive a Mercedes-Benz.
Maybe, but it's cool to see we've got over 40 people in the Twitch at the moment, which is great to see.
It is absolutely mega. It's a random idea that Mikey put together in the last 5 minutes of our podcast last night. And now here we are with a full-on 1v1 tournament. If you are new, do make sure you are following. If you want to see more action and you don't want adverts, make sure you subscribe, because I know how annoying those pesky adverts can be. So do drop us a sub down below. Merc versus Fabian Best then. I've not really seen too much of these two drivers, Mike. So have you got any insight into who you think is the favourite?
I've raced alongside Merc a couple of times and we've had some good battles. So if I had to pick one right now, I would say Merc. But currently, I've not raced too much with Fabian, like I say, so I wouldn't be able to say who I would pick. But if I had to pick one, it would be Merc.
Well, it is Merc that is currently leading. He is not in a Mercedes-Benz. He's in an Aston Martin. So, in my opinion, he should get a 5-second penalty just for whatever the hell is going on in that Aston Martin car. Fabian is sticking with him well, though. Has got a little less battery than Merc. And Fabian, a little bit glitching around through some of the corners, is using a lot of battery, though, is Fabian. And that is going to provide a little bit of an advantage to Merc. As we start lap 2 then, this definitely does look like it's advantage Merc, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does at the moment, but Fabian could just be holding his own, or could even be thinking here, look, I can't get past. It's not one of my favourite tracks. Do I sit and try and go for fastest loser, as we want to call it? So there's a potential.
Well, Merc did get a really bad exit out of turn 1. Fabian was challenging away with him. They've both decided to save their batteries then. Fabian is now gaining once more. It's going to be Merc that uses a little bit more battery this time. Mikey coming in with the 5 gifted subs. I wonder who that could be in the chat.
I've seen a few people in this, so I thought, let's try and get them stuck with us for a bit.
You might as well. Trust me, we bring you great racing action, especially like these random tournaments. There's always many random things that we're doing in MOR. We have also got, shall I announce it, Mikey? The thing that I made this morning? Do we talk
Yeah.
about that? Well,
We'll do that. Should we do that when there's the first round and second round interval?
oh, yes, that's a good idea. We'll keep you all waited. So if you are interested in a little bit of an announcement from MOR, you have to wait and you have to watch all of it. And I'm keeping an eye on all of you. And if one of you leaves, I'm not announcing it at all. You're not getting it.
We need 5 more gifted subs, just saying.
Yeah, exactly. 5 more gifted subs. We need 20,000 coins on TikTok. We need £50 wired to my bank account.
Thank you, Keighley Wave. That's incredible. Thank you.
Well, the announcement is coming then. It's
Maybe
decided.
another 10 then. That was too quick. I feel like that was just a bit of a. But I'll let you finish this race. But it's a funny one because I bet BPAce is sat there thinking, "Go on, someone crash, someone spin." He's looking at that gap, thinking it needs to be 4/10, and it's just keeps every race really, really important.
The issue is Merc does have a lot more battery than Fabian. Fabian's now ran out, so that gap is going to open up. So he needs to try and close it down in the final couple of corners because Merc is going to win this. There's nothing that Fabian can do about it. Can he get himself into the losers bracket? It does not look like it. They crossed the line. I think the gap was about 9/10. So BPAce is safe, but only just. That was very, very close. We have also got a hype train going on in the Twitch as well.
Just want to say welcome into Herrera, watching from Brazil.
Big welcome.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
What was the gap there, JP?
The gap was 1 second and 31 milliseconds.
Perfect.
So it doesn't look like he will be moving through. As Mikey, you know Kingsley gifted 5 subs?
Yeah.
One of them went to GB. GB's watching us.
Well, hello, GB. If you're still in, welcome. Welcome into the stream, mate. So yeah, we've got Merc winning round 6. We've got Sander next against Deckers, which is cool.
Yep.
Let's go and see what the next race brings. Deckers stepping in for someone that can't make it, which is great.
Hopefully, it should be a good race.
Number 6, that one.
So,
Merc.
is Deckers already in? Did he get invited? That is the question. Not one. Yep, he is indeed. So we just need Merc to go back to spectator mode, which he has now done. And we can get going once again. If I had to put money on it, I would have said Sander is going to absolutely obliterate Deckers. But it's a 3-lapper. Anything can happen. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely will be interesting to see. I think it's going to be another close battle. Who will come out on top? I don't know. That's one to wait and see, I guess.
Pereira saying you like Ayrton Senna. Ayrton Senna's probably my favourite F1 driver ever. Mikey, I know you like a bit of the old Ayrton, don't you? I guess we'll never know. Oh, no, we will know. Oh, yes, we will.
It's not mine. That's now Ollie's, but yes, we do.
Yeah.
We love a bit of Ayrton Senna. 100%. So, who is next? Are we in the lobby already? Yes. So we've got Sander against Deckers.
Yeah.
And we've got Andy against Ollie 87. Then Maloon and Solo. I don't think that's going to be very easy for either of them.
No.
We've got some good battles coming up here. I'm really looking forward to seeing these. It's turning out to be a great event. Obviously, next, as round 2 comes along, we've already got our first full fixture, and that's Merc against Lawless Fever, which could also be a very good race.
It should be really close, and these battles are close. Deckers was the man on pole position, is now leading this race, so Sander is going to have to get the overtake done. I said before this that I thought Sander was going to absolutely dominate this, but Sander is going to have to make the pass. The issue is that Sander is saving a lot more battery than Deckers. I wonder if Sander knows Deckers isn't that experienced. Just sit behind him, let him drain the battery on the opening lap when he thinks he's under pressure, and then make the move afterwards.
Yeah. It's oh, my internet's dropped out again. I don't know if you can hear me still.
We can indeed.
Well, that's a shame for you guys then, isn't it?
Deckers is still leading then. Sander in second place. Sander is very close to the back of Deckers as we go into the final couple of corners. I think Sander is trying to save this for the penultimate or final lap, but as he now gets the overtake boost, he's going onto the grass to try and get through. You're definitely not going to get any grip out there, even if you are in a Mercedes-Benz. And Sander now looking towards the inside of turn 3. Might not even need the apex at turn 3 as they have a little bit of wheel banging down the straight. I saw scenes of an airplane crash there as Sander does dart down the inside. Deckers goes a little bit wide, and when he comes back on, Sander is leading. Mercedes.
Because could he be looking to? It's very hard. It's easier sat here saying, "Oh, I'll just sit behind until the last race, last lap, blah blah blah." It's all well and good saying that, but you want to be in front of the car, don't you?
Exactly. The dirty air, and you definitely feel more comfortable defending than attacking. I would have said you don't want to be sat behind someone trying to push through them with the risk of them maybe turning into you and claiming the corner as their own or something like that. Deckers is going to have to give it everything on this final lap, though. He's not got much battery. That is the only issue. Sander in the lead with 70%. Deckers with only 30%. Ooh, this doesn't look good for the Red Bull.
It doesn't, but you can't rule anything out. You just never know. There is a chance that Sander makes a mistake, or there is still a risk of maybe even getting a penalty.
Exactly that. And the issue is with 3 laps as well is that you don't get any warnings. If you cut a corner or go off the road, it's an immediate 2-second penalty. So that is very harsh, but that could change some races around if there's some really close racing like we saw with D Ghost and Kian.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's you just never know, do you? There is always that opportunity and that potential for something to come up and surprise us.
It is going to be Sander that wins out in this round 1 clash, though. The Mercedes driver got the move done, managed the battery better, and Sander does move through to round 2. Deckers in behind him, and that will be Deckers that is out of the 1v1 tournament. We really should have come up with a cool name for this now I think about it, Mikey. We should have had some really spectacular name that we could have called it.
Give me 2 minutes. I'm sure my mind can think of something absolutely crap.
Oh, yes, the mind of F1, Mike. Just like your mind that made the podcast song.
Yeah, well, everyone loves that song, don't they?
Well, that is true, but it does have to be changed. You've still got to rewrite that bad boy, haven't you?
Yeah, maybe. But then I've gifted more subs today, so maybe I should be able to say, no, we'll keep it.
I mean, to be fair, a bit of communism, I guess, never hurt. 2.191 seconds was the gap then between Deckers and Sander. Sander moves through into round 2. What is our next fight, did you say, Mikey?
Next, we have Andy Price against Oliver 87 Gamer, which will again be another great battle.
Have we seen Oliver race before? I don't remember seeing him race, to be completely honest. I didn't have him added.
He raced today. If I was to have to pick someone now, I'm back in Andy.
Yeah.
But obviously, it just depends on what assists people run and whether they don't keep it on the track. That's the biggest one.
Definitely. Andy picking the Alpine. What is Oliver 87 going to choose? I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. It's equal performance, but it's always nice to see what cars people prefer. I don't think I've ever seen someone prefer an Alpine over any other car on the grid, though.
No.
Mercedes for Oliver. I mean, bog standard, really. I guess it is the quickest car, so maybe it gives you that extra bit of oomph. Zen saying, just saw if I get fastest loser, I go up against Llama again. Or we could have a repeat.
Should we call it more survival?
I mean, that's better than more 1v1 tournament.
Or you've got more the gauntlet.
Oh, I like that. The gauntlet's cool. That sounds like something out of Forza Horizon.
Yeah, there is a potential. You never know. So so fastest loser actually, it's just been pointed out in the chat. The winner of this race races against the fastest loser in the next round. So there is a potential that you do have the upper hand winning this race.
Hmm.
But also with BPAce being the fastest loser at the moment, maybe that's not so much an advantage. I think if BPAce is really going to get beaten with this fastest loser, I think round 8 could be one for it, round 11 as well, also 13 and 14. So there's a lot of races to come.
There are a lot of races to come. Andy Price is your leader then. Oliver in second place as we go through turn 1. Now, obviously, you said you're backing Andy for this race, Mike.
Yeah.
Give me some reasons why you think Andy is that quick.
I've raced with him since I started league racing. He's clean, he's consistent as he locks up into turn 1. Oh dear. Yeah, I just think he overall he's a very good driver, and I think he'll have the edge through here as long as his assists work and that he doesn't lock up his front brakes, because I've known that with Andy as well. He does make a few lockups with the ABS, but I'm confident he can come through this one.
There was a big lockup into turn 3. Both drivers were off the track. Oliver 87 is now leading. Andy right in behind him, but Andy doesn't have as much battery, so needs to be saving on this second lap because Andy Price, he's not got the battery that Oliver has got. Andy is going to go for the move into turn 1. Oliver going to burn a bit of battery to keep ahead of him. This is a lot closer than I thought it would be. I've not seen Oliver race before. He's putting up a very good fight.
He is, yeah, he really is. I'm just watching those track limits. You don't want people gaining an advantage, but I think it's so far so good, really. He's doing everything he needs to do. I think Andy needs to focus on battery management, build a battery for the last lap, and try and take advantage.
It's currently about 40% of battery for Andy, about 65% for Oliver. So Oliver definitely looking in control. We're on board with the Alpine as he makes his way through the middle sector, stuck to the rear end of the Mercedes. This could definitely be a contender, though. If Andy doesn't win this, he could be the fastest loser and could take BPAce out of that bracket and eliminate him from the tournament. So it's definitely not over for Andy if he is to lose this race, but he is right in behind Oliver as we go on to the final lap.
He's very close, but he's out of battery already.
That is the issue. Battery, such a big thing, but Oliver has got all out of shape through turn 1. It looks like neither of them really have any battery. Oliver is going to gain away, but both of them have burned the battery. Andy doing a little bit more lift and coast up into turn 3. So now the advantage swings to Andy. But Oliver does have the 4/10 advantage out in front. Andy burning the battery will gain a bit more time back. Is lifting and coasting a bit more. Oliver, little bit of a lockup as well. This is really close between them as we go through the middle sector then. Mercedes ahead of Alpine. Andy just pushing on to try and get up to the back of Oliver. It's so close. He's almost pushing him through the middle sector, but has now run out of battery. That will allow Oliver to scamper a little bit away. This could definitely eliminate BPAce from the tournament because they're so close together. As Andy gets the power down, they're so close, and the gap was a 10th. BPAce is eliminated.
Do you know what the funniest thing is? Now that that's happened, if that stays the same, it's a rematch in the next round.
What, between Oliver and Andy?
Yes, because the winner of that race goes through as that, and then the fastest loser was the one that, yeah.
Oh, wow.
0.102. That is incredible.
That
Oliver
is so,
getting
so
that
close.
through, and potentially facing Andy in the next round.
That is so, so close.
That is funny. Who would have thought? What are the chances?
BPAce eliminated. Would have been one of the favourites to go and win the tournament, but is now out of the tournament. And that is the price you pay, no pun intended, with 3 lappers, is that it's so close together. You don't make a mistake, you stick behind. You can keep yourself in the tournament, even if you don't win.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just gone into GV68's chat because why not, and just said come take part. See if he answers, shall we?
Worth a go. Worth a go. Blake saying,
Right.
"Oh, Ollie Southall has timed Blake out for 600 seconds." I don't know if you saw, Mike, what Blake put in the chat.
No, I didn't. What did he put?
Harvey J. Price.
Really shouldn't laugh, but it is quite funny.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
It is quite funny.
What is our next fight then? Meloon versus Solar. Oh, this could get spicy.
This is a big one.
This could get very spicy. Solar in the chat sounded confident, but he said he's quick, but not quick enough to gap Meloon. So could Meloon maybe try and provide some sort of issue for Solar? It seems like a lot of people are getting behind Meloon. Solar saying he's not confident. Mikey, predictions? Who do we think has got this one?
I mean, Solar's very, very quick. He did say that he wouldn't be confident tonight just because of the fact that he's doing LMU.
Yeah.
I'm all for an upset, so I'm sat here looking at Meloon thinking there's a chance that, you know, he could pull through this and win the race.
Yeah, most certainly. I think it's going to be close between everyone. Solar says he's not washed. He's been practicing on F1 since doing his LMU race. So he's taking this seriously, Solar. King Fenrir is saying biggest gap of the night incoming. Well, it would have some beating. I think the biggest gap was the round 1 race, and that was Tilly versus CJ. The gap was about 8 seconds, I think.
7.
If I'm not mistaken.
Seconds, yeah.
Yeah. So that will definitely take some beating. We've got a lot of fanfare for both drivers here. This definitely seems like one of the more competitive races we've got.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of the top races. One I am looking forward to, as I said, is Fenrir versus Harvey.
Yeah.
MCO Album Lover, Nathan and Ollie Football, and Ollie and Mr. Smith. There's some really big races coming up, but let's see what happens here.
There is some big races. It's Solar that started on pole position, so he gets away from Meloon. Then let's get all our telemetry enabled so we can see all the battery. And both of them pretty even on battery at the moment. Haas versus Aston Martin. This is not the usual fight you would expect, Haas versus Aston Martin, but that is the joy of the world of MOR, is that you get random battles that you would never see in real Formula 1. Meloon looking happy just to sit behind Solar for the time being. They both seem to be using the battery in the same way. Meloon about 10% off of what Solar has got at the minute. I feel like this race is going to be a bit more of a strategical mental battle rather than outright pace.
Yeah, this is... I wouldn't like to be taking part in this race. I wouldn't like to be racing against Meloon. I wouldn't like to be racing against Solar. Meloon's taken the opportunity there to take the lead at the end of lap 1. Wouldn't have got the boost button, but let's see what Solar can do to turn 1.
Meloon with the track position then. Solar with much more battery. Meloon drained a lot to take the lead. He's now down to 15%. Solar still on 40% and flies straight back through into the lead of this 3-lapper. And Meloon kind of got to evaluate what he's going for here. If he tried that on the final lap, I'd respect it. On lap 1, probably not the best choice.
Perhaps not the best choice, but we haven't really seen much happen on lap 1 in everyone else, and they've sort of struggled to get past. So, yeah, we'll see what the next few laps hold. Whether Meloon's, you know, leaving that gap now to try and harvest some battery, we'll see. But at the moment, it looks like Solar could have this one in the bag.
It looks like about double the battery that Solar has got on Meloon. Meloon draining as much as possible, but it does not look like Meloon has got the power to try and get through. He'll have the overtake boost, which will help him a little bit. Solar with the fastest lap of the race, and you can see how much more battery that Solar has got over Meloon as through turn 1 we go for the final time. Meloon chasing Solar. Doesn't have any battery left though on the run up the hill. Solar has plenty. It looks like it's going the way of Solar at the minute, but could Meloon maybe take a page out of Blake's book and throw a little bit of a Hail Mary down the inside? There's always a chance that it happens, but the gap between them, about 0.6 of a second. Solar looks pretty comfortable at the moment. They're about on the same battery now, but it is going to be Solar that will lead us through the middle sector. Really only one more chance to try and overtake, and that will be into the penultimate corner. Melon just not close enough and doesn't have the battery to get close enough. It looks like Solar's going to take this, but it's not very much between them at all.
It's been a good attempt by Maloon for sure. You know, is he saving some battery? Is he going to go full send into the last corner, try and get it within a tenth? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. So Solar's going to take the win to Maloon by about 7.5 tenths.
It was very, very close. A lot closer than I think a few people expected it to be. I think people are quite happy with Meloon and his effort. Let's say it was 0.740 seconds between Meloon and Solar. Solar saying phew, obviously not easy for Solar to win that race. We now move on. What is our next round, Mikey? Do you know?
Yes, so next up we've got Adam Alcada against Mootsie, which is Lunar Eclipse. That'll be a good race.
That should be a very interesting one. I would definitely back Lunar Eclipse, I think. Got a little bit more experience in F1 League racing, but Alcada is a bit unpredictable, can go for different moves at different times, maybe scare Lunar off the racing line. And realistically, no race is won until the checkered flag has fallen.
Yeah, anything can happen. Like I say, you know, Solar could, you know, looking at all of the fixtures so far, you could be sitting here saying Tilly is you know, the one to beat. But then again, that's just by a gap. You know, it could all change in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, exactly that. It's all very different. Alcada saying JP describing me like I'm a zombie. That was not my intention, Alcada. Don't worry. As someone else has jumped in a car for some reason. Who is that?
No, that's Thomas.
Oh, that's Thomas.
You need to unselect your car. You're not racing yet. So go back to spectator, please.
We just await
Otherwise,
Thomas to get out of the car and get into spectator mode. And then we will be underway with Lunar Eclipse versus Alcada. Alpine versus Red Bull Racing. And what round is this, Mikey? Is this what round? It must be 8, 9 by now?
I believe this is race number 9. Let me just check. Yes, this is race number 9.
Beautiful. We're just waiting for Thomas to get out of the car. There we go. He's out of the car. He's into spectator mode. And we will move on to our 9th race of the evening then. Alcada versus Lunar Eclipse. Two drivers that you wouldn't have said are towards the front of the field. But I would have said drivers that can definitely put on a good race for us.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's definitely got the potential to be a good race for sure. You know, we could sit here and say that Lunar Eclipse, like we have said, is favourite, but there is still a chance that something goes wrong. You just don't know.
Exactly that. Meloon saying can't do much going against the fastest guy in it, so fair enough. Meloon, it was a good attempt, I must say. I wouldn't have done any better myself, so congratulations on the attempt, Meloon. And I'm sure we'll be running more of these at some point. I'm sure there'll be different tracks and different layouts and things like that. And hopefully you will be back with us. We're just waiting then for Alcada versus Lunar Eclipse as the lights light up on the grid then. And we will get underway in Austria. Lunar Eclipse chasing down Alcada. Alcada chasing down Lunar Eclipse already into turn 1, looking to try and make a move. That got very, very scrappy into turn 1. As Alcada immediately looking for the position, now burning the battery up the hill to try and gain back some of that lost time. Lunar Eclipse, we know, I would say the biggest thing that has impressed me about Lunar Eclipse is they're very composed. It's not very erratic driving, whether it's attack or defense, very composed driving. That is something you really need as a racing driver.
I mean, I would say their turn 1, there wasn't a gap to go for. I think it was a bit desperate and a bit silly, but yeah, you need a cool head in, and certainly in a situation like this. This is almost, a penalty shootout, let's say. And I think calm and composed is the only way that you're going to be able to get through this for sure.
Most certainly. The gap already at 1.8 seconds. Luna with plenty of battery. Alcada not with any down the main straight. So this gap looks like it's only going to keep growing between Luna and Alcada. As you can see, plenty of battery for Lunar Eclipse on the run up towards the hill. Alcada running in second place. But again, anything can happen. Luna could have some sort of a spin, have some sort of an off moment, and immediately that brings Alcada straight back into it, flies through on the inside, and Alcada steals a victory away.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can't sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm out of the race," because then you'll just lose time and time. And if someone was to pick up a penalty, there's still a chance that you get through. If someone does, locks up and messes up a little bit, there's still a chance to get through there as well. So I think you can't just give up.
Yeah, exactly that. You've always got to try and stick with it and keep yourself in it and make sure that you're not running out of time or running out of it. I've just realized I have gone into pause mode here as we move towards lap 3, Alcada versus Lunar Eclipse. The gap now 4.7 seconds between Alcada and Lunar Eclipse. It does look like it's a little bit shying out for Alcada. 5 seconds is the gap, and Luna with plenty of battery to be used. And it looks like Alcada is running away with this a little bit. Sorry, not Alcada, Lunar Eclipse running away with this a little bit.
Yeah, I think this is one that we could probably sit here and say that it's probably race over. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say that because commentators curse. You never know.
Exactly. Absolutely anything can happen.
Luna for sure.
Luna definitely took the opportunity. It's one thing to, maybe say that Luna was the favourite, but you can easily still lose a race. And Lunar Eclipse has taken the opportunity to come through and take the victory. The gap going to be over 6 seconds as we come round the final corner. And it is Lunar Eclipse that is going to win in this event. Alcada will come home in second place, weaving across the line. Now, what is our next matchup then, Mikey? What have we got in store?
Next, we have King Fenrir against MUFC Harvey. I think this is going to be a very good race.
This is one that you were very excited for, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't raced much alongside Harvey. I've raced a lot with Fenrir, and I know he's been improving a lot over the last few weeks. So I think could be potential for someone that could go quite far in the tournament. But equally, he's got to get through the first hurdle and make sure. They've been in this lobby now for an hour. They've not been driving their cars. They've been watching. There's been no practice, so it's going to be very difficult. They go straight into a race that you don't know. They could struggle.
Yeah, and I think it's quite difficult as well. Sitting back and watching, and the suspense and the nerves build up. I think you have got a bit of an advantage if you are earlier on in the bracket, because if you're sat waiting around watching all the other drivers, you kind of start working out who you're going to be facing if you win this round against this other driver. You start to get a little bit shaky, and that can kind of harm you a little bit.
Absolutely. If I was taking part, I certainly wouldn't have been sat in the lobby for the last hour. I would have definitely probably watched a few races if I was one of the bottom 3 or 4 rounds to go. I would have watched a few races and then sort of been like, right, go and do a little bit of practice, just watch what people are doing with their battery. I'd have been more studying than I was, but yeah, there's every chance that people can still do well without the practice, so we'll see. But Alcada, if you could just unselect your car, and then we're ready to get on with the next one.
Exactly that. Alcada leaving Red Bull. It will be King Fenrir in McLaren versus Harvey in the Mercedes. We're all ready.
3P, I believe you are the. Oh, that's fine. I was going to say if they lose and you're the lobby host, you can kick them if they take a while.
That is a good point. Yes, very true. Very true.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I'll let you do the commentary for this one. Let's see how this goes.
Do you want me to properly commentate?
I want you. No, we'll let you properly commentate for the final.
Okay, makes sense. So what are the rounds then? So obviously round 1 is just Austria. What are the tracks for round 2 and 3 in the semis and the final?
So round 2 is Bahrain.
Okay.
Round 3 is Brazil, which is the quarterfinals. Then you've got the semi-finals at Belgium, and then you have the final, which is pretty cool.
That is a very
But
good
I'm starting
calendar.
to think it's going to last a lot longer than I thought.
Definitely. We're already at 11 and we're not even through the first round of the tournament yet, but
Yes.
it seems like people are happy to do it. It seems like people are enjoying it. It seems like the Twitch viewers are enjoying it as well. Emmanuel seeming very, very happy. Solar saying he's not excited for Spa. Well, that's if you make it to Spa, Solar. You've got to get there to be in the race. King Fenrir versus Harvey then. Mike, I know you were excited for this one. Why don't you try a little bit of commentary?
Let's absolutely not. And I've got a defense here. I'm watching the Twitch stream because I haven't got. I'm not in the game, so I'm actually delayed. So the commentary wouldn't be very good.
Ah, I see. Excuses from F1 Mikey boy. King Fenrir is leading at the moment. Then Harvey in second place. And talk to me, Mikey. Why do you think this is going to be such a good battle? Why is this one of the ones that you're so excited for?
Because, I mean, I don't know whether Fenrir will hate me for saying it, but he's not the quickest driver in the league. He's made such improvements over the last few weeks, even taking his first victory in the Thursday division.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting to see how his battery management is. And I would say he's the strongest driver here, which is not usually the case in races that he's in. So it'll be interesting to see whether he can pull away, what strategy he uses, whether he sticks with them. Just genuinely excited. I want other people to win races, and hopefully Fenrir potentially could be one that goes quite far. Then their next opponent in this race, whoever wins this goes on to race against Sander, which I think there's a potential that one of these two could beat them.
I think there is always, especially in a tournament, there's always the upset factor, isn't there? That someone's going to have some sort of a moment or someone's going to have a little bit of a crash. We've now got Harvey leading over Fenrir. So this should be an interesting fight to see if Fenrir can try and get back through. It looks like they're both using a lot of their battery as King Fenrir still sat in behind Harvey at the moment. Albon Lover saying, can we tell MCL to retire straight away? So evidently a bit nervous about facing MCL. I mean, to be fair, how can you blame Albon Lover? I would be nervous facing MCL too. As we move towards the final lap of this, let's call it a sprint. And it is, at the moment, MUFC Harvey that is looking dominant. It sounded like you were backing King Fenrir a bit there, Mikey. But it looks like MUFC Harvey might have his number.
As I said, I've not raced with Harvey much. So, it's quite apparent that I've misjudged them. But there is still a lap to go, and whether the pressure gets to them or not, it will be worth to wait and find out. But looking at the battery, it's not looking like Fenrir's got much left to give.
No, it always comes down to the battery in this era of Formula 1. It looks like Harvey's going to save a bit. Fenrir is going to use every last bit that he's got. Into turn 4, maybe thinking about a dive bomb, not able to make the move as Fenrir now through the middle sector. We're riding on board with the McLaren and still not able to make a move. Harvey does have less battery though, so Fenrir could try and throw a Hail Mary down towards the penultimate corner. He is gaining on the Mercedes, looking towards the outside line. There's a little bit of contact between them. Harvey stays ahead. Fenrir tries to cut the inside line of the final corner, but it is Harvey that's going to take it.
Yeah, I think that was a very good matchup in the end. I think it was a deserving win from Harvey. Losing the lead at the start and managing to fight back, I think is a great performance. And on to the next round. That could be a very good battle between Harvey and Sander.
Exactly that. How many more round 1 races do we have to go before we get on to the Bahrain races? 5 more. Okay. We've still got plenty coming your way. This is going to take a while, I must say.
I think if in hindsight, I probably should have done round 1 and 2 tonight and the rest tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we're here now.
Well, I
There's
mean,
36 people watching on Twitch. I think there's quite a few on TikTok. However, somebody's managed to turn off the comments, Ollie. So yeah, we've got over 50 people watching live. So I believe it's best we just carry on.
yeah, I mean, until it dies down, until the viewers don't want to see it, why not keep going? We might as well.
Absolutely.
We've most certainly got nowhere to be, have we, Mikey? So we might as well sit here and watch some virtual F1 racing. Next round, we just need Albon Lover and MCL. MCL needs to get in his car. I believe MCL might have taken a bit of your strategy call and done a bit of practice, if I'm not mistaken. So MCL could be a bit dangerous here.
He's very strategic, so potentially that would be wouldn't surprise me with him. I would have thought he would have done that for sure.
I would not be surprised. We know that MCL is definitely one of the quicker drivers from the old WRC and now MOR. He's always been towards the front, shall we say.
Yeah.
And this should be a close race, I think, but I would put my money on MCL if I had to put my money on someone.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the race start. I know Mike said he's over the last few weeks, since he's come back to racing, he said he's been struggling with the race start, so that could be something that Albon Lover could take on.
Have I just been kicked?
Everyone has been kicked.
Oh. Well, that's not good. Well, while we set up the lobby and get everything back to normal, then shall we crack on with that announcement that we were going to speak of earlier?
Yeah, go for it.
What just to fill the no, not everyone's been kicked. A lot of people have been, but not everyone.
No one, by the looks of it. It looks like you're all back.
MCL and Albon Lover are
I do just want to pick up on a comment in TikTok. This league is a mess. Everyone kicked. How does that work?
What?
Because we run the EA servers. I forgot. Yeah, I've just turned them off.
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah,
I was just getting a bit bored of the racing, to be honest. So I just thought, oh yeah, I'll just crash the game.
Yeah,
Makes a whole load of sense. Makes a whole load of sense.
So yeah, well, thanks for the really relevant comment in TikTok. But it's good to see the comments are back. Maybe they shouldn't be with comments like that, but yeah, they're back.
That is
every cloud.
That's baffling. Absolutely baffling. Okay then, MCL is back in. We just need to wait for Albon Lover. Let me see if I can shoot Albon Lover an invite. Albon Lover's not online, conveniently. So we will wait for him to get back in. I don't know who else we are waiting for.
The person making the comments in TikTok has been banned for other comments related to it. So I think that might have been the one that Ollie was trying to sort earlier. So that's all sorted now.
Beautiful. We love to see it.
To celebrate that, let's put in some treasure boxes.
Got to celebrate. And with the celebrations, we will come out and give you the announcement finally then. So a lot of comments, on all of the podcasts, we ask for suggestions about what you guys want us to do. Obviously, mainly we base them around the podcast, whether you want longer podcasts, shorter podcasts, whatever it is. But we do get a lot of suggestions for other things, such as different games like Call of Duty. We've had Fortnite suggestions, Minecraft worlds, things like that. But the number one suggestion that we've had is a Pro Clubs team. So, starting from probably at some point this week, maybe tomorrow, Mikey, we could start that.
We could do a pre-season. We could open as Ted Lasso would say, we could run some trials.
Exactly that. So, from tomorrow, then, the Pro Clubs team will be being made. Now, we have already got somewhat of a lineup. We've sorted out all the kits and everything, and we've got the stadium and all that. The club is a thing. The way it's going to run is essentially first come, first serve. So
Yeah.
it's going to be, the positions will be taken first come, first serve. Of course, people like myself, Mikey, Blake, who are involved in the running of the league, have got initial priority. We're the only people that have taken the positions for now. There'll be announcement at some point today after this race or tomorrow morning. And again, it will be first come, first serve. We will try and do it sort of rolling in a way, so you can sign up to reserve for a certain position if that position's been taken. We imagine, obviously, a lot more than 11 people are going to sign up. So you can reserve for a particular position or whatever. I will tell you what we've currently got. The formation is going to be a 4-2-1-3. And we've got Mikey as the CDM, Blake as the cam, Kian as the left winger, Meloon as the right winger, and myself at striker. So we're looking for another DM, right back, centre back, left back, and keeper.
Yeah, so I want someone sat next to me in the midfield where we can run it. They used to call me Yaya Toure back in the day. Mark my words. I will definitely get a few red cards and definitely not score many goals.
Why did they call you Yaya Toure?
No, it might have been Kolo Toure in midfield, but it's still the same.
Oh, right, yeah, same person. So, obviously,
yeah.
the sign-ups for that will be coming out either tonight or tomorrow. So, if you do want to sign up, keep an eye on the Discord and we will get you involved. That will all kick off from tomorrow evening, probably about 10 o'clock. We will start the stream, go live. We'll be in a call with everyone. It'll be a whole load of fun. But this race now continues after a little bit of a break. Albon Lover and MCL will fight away then. MCL, we definitely have got here as the favourite, but Albon Lover, most certainly not a slow driver at all.
Not a slow driver, no. I could already see a gap, a bigger gap than most have had. And I think it's probably MCL trying to save as much battery as he can for the later part of the race, which we haven't seen people do. It could be a risky thing to do, but you never know.
It does seem like that. MCL on about 70%. Albon Lover is still saving his battery as well, though. So this is a very mental fight, a very strategical fight. It's not easy because obviously you have no way to know what battery the driver ahead of you is on. So you're kind of just saving and hoping that you're also doing the same thing. Obviously you can see the red light flashing on the back of the car, so you know when they're deploying. When they're not deploying, sorry, when they're harvesting. But when they're deploying, you don't know if they're in medium, you don't know if they're in hot lap, you don't know if they're boosting or not. So it's very difficult to try and tell where other drivers are using it. MCL does look like he's going to go for the move here to the outside of turn 3 up the hill. Brakes a little bit later. He's still going to look round the outside. They do bang wheels. MCL is going for this. The Mercedes driver to the outside line once more. Albon Lover using his battery to try and keep in contention with the Mercedes. They're on similar batteries and they are right next to each other now. The gap no longer half a second. The gap now about half a tenth as MCL does go down the inside. Albon Lover flying around the outside. They're still wheel to wheel as we go through the middle sector. And MCL does take the position, but Albon Lover on the exit, using a bit more battery, trying to get through on the outside of the penultimate corner. Not able to make his way past. MCL will start the final lap in the lead, but Albon Lover with 20% more battery, and on the run down to turn 1, Albon Lover immediately gets back through.
Albon Lover's used my strat there. He's overtaken just as he's got the blue battery. What I found interesting there was their lap time was 1.7 seconds slower on lap 2 than it was on the lap before. And it just goes to show how much battery they were saving. But I'll let you commentate for the rest, because I think this is going to be pretty cool.
MCL is gaining then on Albon Lover. He is drawing towards the outside line of turn 4. Much deeper on the brakes is the Mercedes, trying to get round the outside line. He's got the grip to do so. Does he have the battery to do so? Because Albon Lover, with the overtake boost and more battery as well, you would say has the advantage. A little bit more contact between them. MCL giving it everything to try and stay ahead, but he's ran out of battery at the crucial moment, and Albon Lover is going to get the upset. Through the final couple of corners we go. Albon Lover dethrones MCL. What a race that was.
Yeah, I've got to say that was absolutely incredible. Both drivers there could be proud of that race. It was incredible to see how close they could get and how clean it was, and it was just a very, very good race from both. Well done.
That was absolutely brilliant. The gap at the end, half a second. Albon Lover taking victory over MCL and progressing to the next round.
So
Absolutely
that
incredible.
puts Albon Lover up against Tilly Brown, which is going to be another, I think, very good race.
Most certainly. We've got
So
some
we'll. Oh,
got some good round 2 showdowns coming, I would have said.
yeah, so we've got confirmed lineup at the moment. We've got Merck against Lawless Fever. You've got Harvey against Sander. You've got Albon against Tilly Brown. You've got the next race, which is race number 12. Will go up against Lunar Eclipse. And then you've got, yeah, yeah, it's going to be a pretty good, good looking race, I think.
What is our next race then that we've got coming up at the moment out of round 1?
Mhm.
Sander saying, when and what time will you be doing clubs? It will be about 10 o'clock tomorrow that we will start the pro clubs. Lineups, well, the announcement will be out along with the sign-ups and whatnot. I would say, should we do that after this, Mikey, or leave it till the morning?
We'll leave that till the morning because I feel like once this is all done, we'll probably be like, yeah, let's just turn the stream off. It's been long enough.
Yeah, definitely. So the lineups or sign-ups, I should say, will be out tomorrow. So make sure you keep your eyes on that. We've already got a left winger, Sander. If you didn't hear me read the lineup earlier, I believe it's Kian that is at left wing, that position already taken. But you can always sign up as another position or get yourself down as a reserve for a left winger if Kian can't make it. But obviously the sign-ups will come out. It'll be first come, first served. So make sure you keep an eye on the Discord. What is our next race then, Mikey?
So next up, we have Shaggy against Thomas.
Okay, interesting. So this should be a good fight between Shaggy and Thomas. Thomas just getting into a car now. And we are ready for our next race then. Cadillac. I don't think we've seen anyone pick Cadillac in these 3-lappers before. So that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, always nice to spice things up. So, just wait for them to ready up then. And we will get ourselves underway. Why are we not going immediately? It's because Kian is not in spectator mode. Kian, how dare you?
Yeah, you need to put that in spectator. Pretty sharpish.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be in a seat.
Nova Piper saying me and Sidemen are the best players in the world. You better get yourself signed up then. When the sign-ups come out. Angry F1 Apex in the chat. Good evening. We've got 33 of you in the Twitch at the moment. Make sure if you are new, you are following us down below to watch along with all of the podcasts, all of the races, all of the pro clubs, all of the... I'm sure Mikey's got some random idea plan for what we'll be doing in a week's time. So there's plenty of stuff to come. Plenty. Kian saying, what is happening tonight, Mikey? What do you mean, Kian? What do you mean by what is happening tonight? Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thomas versus Shaggy. They were held for quite a while. It looks like the Cadillac got a little bit sluggish off the line. A lot of wheel spin. We are carrying on with the tournament, Kian. Why would we not be? That's a confusing question, I must say. It looks like Thomas is going to lead this race for the time being. Shaggy going to use a bit more battery, though, and gets through on the run towards turn 3. Thomas is going to look round the outside line. Contact, and they're both off the road at the top of the hill. A little bit of wheel locking. Shaggy stays in the lead. Thomas now using the battery and pulling to the inside line of turn 4, flying down the inside line. Shaggy with the switchback. Again, a little bit more contact between them. It doesn't look like it's anything too malicious, as it is now Thomas that is leading this race. Shaggy gets all out of shape over the curb of death and that is going to allow the Mercedes driver to run away with this one a little bit. Mikey, what did you make of the contact up to the top of the hill?
I think it was just unfortunate. I don't think there was anything malicious in there at all. It's just a bit of an unfortunate coming together. But it's good to see they're both still together, and hopefully we get a good second and third lap race.
I believe in the Discord, a few people are calling for certain things, Mikey. So you may wanna
Just looking at that now.
check that, as it is Thomas that is your leader. Shaggy though saving the battery, and Thomas has now used all of the battery on the run up the hill. Shaggy in second, in the lead. Sorry, it's Thomas in second place. Thomas now burning the battery to try and get closer to the Cadillac, but not able to make the way through, as the Mercedes driver tries to catch up. We'll have one more lap to try and get through. It doesn't look like there's enough time to be able to get through at this point in time, as we move towards the final lap of this race. Then Shaggy is still your leader. The Cadillac still out in front. It looks like Thomas is trying to get closer, but just no battery whatsoever for the Mercedes. The Cadillac saving a lot more battery, and it looks like Shaggy has got this one in store at the moment. But of course, anything can happen in these races. Anything can be done a little bit differently. There could always be a bit of a spin or run out of battery or anything like that. Angry F1 Apex saying, how do I join the Discord? I think I'm allowed to send links in Twitch chat, so I will just send a link to the Discord in the chat. Give me 2 moments.
So going off the votes, it looks like we will be finishing the series, the full thing tonight. Looking at everyone's votes, it's 15-9, so it looks like we will be carrying on and making sure we get the full thing done. In future, I think the best way of doing it would be to do a over the course of a week, or maybe even over the course of just 2 days. But as it stands at the moment, it's 16 people have voted for it to finish today, so we will finish the whole thing today.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll keep an eye on the votes and see what happens. It was Shaggy that ended up winning that race over Thomas, so Shaggy does move through into round 2. Thomas, unfortunately, knocked out. 3.5 seconds was the gap between them. I don't think anyone's going to get closer than that 1/10 gap we saw earlier.
As it stands, no, it looks to be that Andy may well be the person going through on the fastest loser, but there is still a chance. You never know. So next race, we've got GB Russell against Ollie Football. That's going to be a very good race. And the winner of this one actually goes against Solar as well. And then you've got Mr. Smith against Ollie. The winner of that going against HTL Llama. And then at the end, you've got Jensen against Jackie. And the winner of that goes up against Kian. So that'll be a good race. And then I think it'll also be a very good round 2 there as well.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like the brackets have been very fairly sorted, I would have said. And obviously, you know, your first round bracket is fair. You then move forward to the next couple of rounds, and it stays the same sort of thing. So we now move on then to G Russell versus Ollie Football. This is a very big hitter one. This could definitely be one of the quicker races that we've seen, I imagine.
Would someone invite Mr. Smith and Shaggy, please? Could you get out of the car?
Mr. Smith, I shall invite him now, right at the bottom of my friends list. As always, he is now invited as we get underway then.
I want to shout out in the TikTok as well. We've just hit 30,000 likes.
Let's go.
And I believe that is mostly down to Secret Burlap. If anyone else is in the TikTok tapping away on the like screen, then just drop a comment in and say hello. But yeah, thank you for the likes in the TikTok. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone that is showing us support and love, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on TikTok, whatever it may be, whatever platform that you are viewing us on. Sandy Organ saying, I don't know if I should go to bed or just stay up and finish my TV show I'm watching. My advice would be stay up and watch the MOR E Sports action, but that's just
Absolutely.
personally what I would do.
Stay with us.
We are just awaiting the start of this next race then. Sounds like we are going now. Ollie Football versus G Russell. Mikey, this is surely one of the ones we've got to keep our eyes on because this could get very spicy.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very good race. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who's going to win this one.
No, this is easily one of the harder ones to call that we've had. Ollie Football will lead us away. G Russell in second place. And Ollie Football is keeping that lead at the moment. They're both very good drivers, so I imagine there's going to be a lot of battery saving until that third lap, I would presume.
Yeah, definitely. The vote for whether we finish the races today or tomorrow is now sat at 16 to stay and 15 for tomorrow. So we will run the votes until the end of round 15, which is another two races after this, and then we'll make that decision. So make sure you get your votes in as well, please.
Yeah, if you are in the Discord, please do make sure you are voting. Obviously, we would like it where everyone's happy, but at the end of the day, it's a majority share. We can't really do what everyone wants to do. So make sure you are voting in the 1v1 channel in the Discord if you are in there. Ollie Football leads lap 1 then, and G Russell sat in behind, but I would not be surprised if G Russell is just no, G Russell gets a penalty for track limits, and that surely is race over.
That is the first one of the day, and I'm surprised it took that long, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, unless Ollie Football doesn't need to do anything stupid here, like that along the straight, they need to just be very careful. I think he just needs to sit in behind now and follow him. I don't see him gapping him by 2 seconds now.
No, not at all. I mean, G Russell's a very quick driver. I'm very surprised that it took G Russell to be the one that got the first penalty. I would have expected that from one of the earlier brackets, to be honest. But G Russell with an immediate 2-second penalty, and that is surely going to be dropping him out of contention here. It feels so weird saying 2-second penalty. That it doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't feel nice. I don't like that.
It's certainly different, but equally there's still an opportunity for Ollie Football to go and get himself a penalty. So we just need to wait and see here. But again, going back to the fastest lap that I said in the last race, that was 2 seconds quicker than this one. So I think yeah, different races, different pace, but also it's all about whether people are saving their battery or not.
Yeah, exactly that. It looks like Ollie Football has done the better job of saving battery. So even without the penalty, it doesn't look like it's going to go the way of G Russell tonight. Ollie Football, it looks like it is going to be progression to round 2 for the Red Bull man. As through the final sector we now go. Ollie Football about 7.5 tenths ahead, and that gap only growing as Ollie has got plenty more battery than G Russell. I didn't think I'd see any domination like this, and as G Russell now goes around at the final corner and into the barriers, that confirms it. Ollie Football is moving on.
That's it then. Ollie Football's through to the next round, and this is the biggest winning margin now. So G Russell holds on to that record at least.
Exactly that. Definitely. Well, I'm not sure. He's now left the session. So evidently not very happy at all with the performance. And the gap between them was, it says a lap. So G Russell was a lap down from Ollie Football. So I don't think that's going to be broken anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I will put that down to 10 seconds just to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about fair. Ollie Football does progress then onto the second round. What is our next race coming up for us then, Mikey?
Next up, we have AERT Ollie racing against Mr. Smith.
Oh, this is a very big one as well then. This
Yeah.
could be quite interesting. It does look like the votes at the moment, we are going to finish this today 17 to 15 at the moment from what I can see on my screen.
I think potentially it might be smart to just overrule that and finish after round 1, because we are going to be nearly 2 hours into the stream and we've only done round 1. We could be here till 2 o'clock in the morning.
That is true.
So I'm thinking that we potentially finish after the next 2 races. Then we go in tomorrow and we do round 2.
Yep.
And the quarterfinals, and then we have a finals night for the semis and the final.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I think it is. I don't think we prepared for how long this would actually take. I just thought, oh, it'll take a couple of hours. We'll be done at midnight. It'll be completely fine. For everyone that is not in the UK, it's 11:30 at night currently, and we're not even at the end of round 1 at the moment. So might take a while. We just need Ollie Football to get out of the car, and we need AERT Ollie to get into the car, and we will be ready to go. AERT Ollie is in the lobby, so we just wait for him to pick his car. It would be same time tomorrow, Kian, so about 10 p.m. UK time, that being. Alcada saying it's 2 a.m. my time. So that would go very late for Alcada, probably till about 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, which you definitely don't want to be staying up for.
Let's finish round 2.
Finish round 2, yeah?
Yeah, we'll go through, because I've seen a lot of people saying they can't make it. We'll do round 2, and then we'll do clubs tomorrow, and then we'll go back to this tournament on Thursday, and we'll get it finished Thursday.
Yeah, cool, no worries. So we will get...
I think most of the people in this are in Thursday divisions, so hopefully they should be free. But I would say let's get round 2 finished today, and then we'll go for the quarterfinal, semi-final, and final from Thursday.
Cool, sounds good. So we will stick with you for round 1 and round 2 then, and then we will be back for the rest of the action on Thursday. Wednesday being tomorrow, we will obviously do the scheduled pro clubs pre-season stream, and then Thursday we will get back to it. Mr. Smith versus Ollie then, and this should be an interesting fight. McLaren versus V-Carb, and Mr. Smith is the man that will start from the lead. Ollie in second place. Is Ollie able to try and beat Mr. Smith? Mr. Smith, I know you've raced against him, Mikey. Mr. Smith, a very, very, very quick driver.
Mr. Smith's a very quick driver. Ollie obviously is as well. So I think I don't think I could call this one either, to be honest. Getting very, very close, and I think the next round's going to be, every time you ask me who's going to win, I'm probably going to sit there and say I don't know.
Yeah, it's really difficult to try and call a winner, especially between two very, very talented drivers. Mr. Smith using a bit more battery, interestingly enough, in trying to pull the gap. And I must say, that is one thing I've been surprised about. I think if I was racing in this, especially if I've watched all these battles before, I would have thought, just drain the battery on lap 1. Try and pull a gap. Because everyone's expecting the battery management and to sit behind and not use anything. So why not just drain it on lap 1 and see if you can pull the distance?
Yeah, I think my strategy would be to burn as much, make the other team burn. But again, I like looking at the fastest laps, and I think that's the first lap 1 that we've had in the 1:08. The rest have sort of been back end of 9, early 10s. So I think it's definitely a lot quicker for an opening lap. But I would probably go with the burn, make them sit in none, and recharge their battery, because it's a lot easier to keep a car behind you when they don't have the battery as well.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Smith is under pressure, though, from Ollie round the outside at turn 4. Goes the V-Carb driver. Mr. Smith is really under pressure towards turn 5. Ollie down the inside, little bit of wheel banging. Mr. Smith forced wider. Ollie does get through, but for how long? Because Mr. Smith is still on the outside line. Ollie trying to get his way through. But it is Ollie that gets his way through. Ollie now leading Mr. Smith in second. They're on very similar battery as we go to the final round.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very good final lap, I think.
It should be very close. Mr. Smith looking for the move into turn one and gets it. The McLaren driver using a bit more battery and gets the move done into turn one. But now we have got the massive climb up the hill. McLaren versus V-Car. Mr. Smith defensive into turn three. Keeps the position. Now opens the straight mode towards turn four. This is the last real overtaking zone on the track for the rest of the lap. And Ollie is not close enough to try and get by. You can see Mr. Smith has burned a lot more battery though. And Ollie has got a lot more in the reserves as he now goes round the outside line. Not able to get through. Might try the up and under. No, gonna go to the outside line again. Does he have the grip to get through? I thought they were going to wheel lock there and go off the road. Ollie with more battery in the final sector though. Towards the penultimate corner. Down the inside he goes. Mr. Smith round the outside. Off the track goes the McLaren. And when he comes back on, he is still leading and wins by a 1/10.5. Mr. Smith, what a battle that was. That got spicy.
That was an incredible race. Who was it, Mr. Smith? Yeah.
Mr. Smith was your winner by 1.5 tenths over Ollie. You're not going to get anyone closer than that 10th gap, are you?
No, I think Andy's confirmed. We've got one more race now, so we'll soon know. But yeah, Mr. Smith winning there. It was a well-hard-earned victory, and it was another great race. Up next, we've got Jensen against Jackie.
This should be a close fight as well. Someone saying Ollie screwed it by weaving. That is a very good point. If he didn't weave, he probably would have been closer and could have got himself into the losers bracket. And that is the issue.
Would like to just check, is Andy still in the stream, in the lobby? Just want to make sure that he's still here because he will be on the fourth race.
Let's have a look when we get back to the lobby. We just wait to load back in. Is Andy? Andy is still in here.
Perfect.
So that won't be an issue.
Good. So yeah, we've got Jackie and Jensen next.
Jackie and Jensen then. Are they both in the lobby? Jensen is there. Jackie is not. Well, that's just great, isn't it? Is it RTG Jackie?
Yeah.
Let's see if he's online. I do have him added. And he's not online. Perfect.
Not online, no?
No.
Okay, so I would say okay, we've got.
Oh, apparently Stu's replacing him.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, and Stu is in the lobby. Okay.
Yeah, so
well.
Stu is replacing him, so that's fine. I'll make that adjustment now.
Okay, and we will have Stu versus Jensen then.
Let's see who wins this one. This is going to be a good battle, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Albon Lover saying, are we doing it all day today? No, we're not. We are doing round 1 and round 2 today, and then we're doing the rest on Thursday. All right, then. We load in. Ferrari, I didn't see what team Stu picked. Album Lover saying I can't do Thursday. I have seen a few people saying they can't do Thursday. We might have to do a bit of a poll in the Discord and see when people are available to get the rest of the rounds done. It doesn't really matter how long we wait, to be honest. Obviously, we'd like it this week, but we will see what happens. Llama saying why not Wednesday? Because we've already got the pro clubs planned. We don't want to collude with that, shall we say. But I'm sure we can do a poll in the Discord and find out when is the best day for everyone for us to move on to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals.
The issue we have is, of course, my mouse has been funny. Not everybody voted to to stay until 2 o'clock. So if everyone was there to vote and everyone suggested they would stay, then we could stay. But we'll see.
Yeah, Jensen and Stu then battling through turn one. And I do think this is going to be a very close fight. Jensen and Stu, not usually towards the top of the grid in MOR, but this should be a really good fight between these two, the V-Carb versus the Ferrari. And I would not be expecting this. I would expect this to be a scrap. What do you think, Mikey?
Yeah, I think it will be very much elbows out. But looking at the start, it looks like Jensen's had a better start. So let's see. I'm going to hedge my bets and wait until the end of lap one just to see.
Well, Jensen is currently leading, has used a lot more battery than Stu, though, and that we know can harm you very, very much. Is through the penultimate corner, and now the final corner we go. And it is Jensen that will lead lap one, but has used a lot more battery in Stu towards the inside, and is going to take the lead. Jensen, though, uses all his battery just to try and keep the lead, but there's no strategy going into that thinking, is there, Mikey?
No, I mean, maybe he listened to what I said in the last race and said, let's just burn the battery and make them chase with no battery. But it'll be interesting to see what Stu's got and what his battery saving skills are. Because I thought, Jensen going into turn one, coming out of turn one, only had about 15% and still managed to lead up into turn two. So let's see what the rest of the lap brings.
35, nearly 40% for Stu, about 32 for Jensen, who is saving a lot more battery now. The V-Carb driver just sat in behind Jensen, trying to figure out how he's going to get through. As Stu getting a lot closer towards the penultimate corner. Stu now draining a bit of battery. Jensen also draining his battery towards the inside of the penultimate corner. Look, Stu, they are still wheel to wheel as we go into the final corner to begin the final lap. Jensen is still your leader, but has ran out of battery towards lap one. Towards turn one, sorry. Stu still trying to fight away here. Jensen is your leader, but is now going to run out of battery. And on the run to turn three, Stu has got a very good opportunity to try and get down the inside. Is going to go down the inside on Jensen. And it does look like Stu is just inching ahead now. Jensen again running out of battery. Stu deciding to save a little bit more for the final part of this lap. Jensen deeper on the brakes and round the outside. Little bit of contact between the Ferrari and the V-Carb. And it does look like even without the battery advantage, Jensen is going to take this. But we have still got that little bit extra of the lap to go. Stu burning the battery everywhere he can. Penultimate corner once again might decide this race. As into the penultimate corner we go. Stu does try to make the dive bomb. There's not an opening for him though. Into the final corner, he tags the inside wall. And it is Jensen that takes the victory.
That was a very good race. That was a very enjoyable race. And yeah, I think a deserving win in the end for Jenny.
Most certainly. That was... I mean, that showed the different strategies can pay off. He used a lot of battery, didn't really save much, still came home with the win.
Yeah, very good drive. Very good drive in the end. What was the gap for that one?
The gap was 4 and 3/4 tenths.
Lovely, which means we can confirm that Andy Price is the fastest loser, and he is now going to be taking part in round two.
So, are we now moving on to round two then?
Yes. So first up, we have Jensen against Kian.
Jensen versus Kian. That should be a good fight. They have developed a bit of a rivalry, Jensen and Kian, especially at Monaco today. There was a bit of a fight between Jensen and Kian, so maybe that will be reignited here today.
So yeah, Oliver 87 asking why am I playing the same person? Just an unfortunate fixture, unfortunately.
That is the way that the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Solar in the chat saying he's very uneasy. He's not confident about facing Ollie football. So yeah, we've got. There's meant to be 16 people in the lobby. So who are we missing? Albon Lover in there?
Albon
No.
Lover is not.
Okay. So yeah, first up is Jensen against Kian.
Okay, so we just need Kian to get in a car. The issue is Kian, he was one of the first drivers to race. Now
Jensen's the last.
and now he's been waiting all this
Oh, yes.
time, and Jensen has just raced. Does that provide a bit of an advantage to Jensen in this format?
Potentially. Very much potential for
Oh
it, but
wait,
we'll
no,
see.
don't ready up. Don't ready up. No. Track.
We need to change the
Bahrain.
track.
No. Bahrain. There we go. Okay, we're all good to go.
And ready up. Cameron, I don't know who that is.
Who is?
There's someone in there that's not a spectator.
Oh dear.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, now I can.
Oh, okay.
I believe there's someone in there that wasn't in spectator mode.
Well, that is not ideal. Hopefully they will just get out of the way and won't decide to race.
Yes, if there's any interference, we'll restart the race.
Yeah. Well, we just await then Kian versus Jenny in the first matchup in round 2 of this tournament. Jenny saying that he's got pole position. So will that be a bit of a helping hand down towards turn 1? I think this will be very close if I had to guess.
I think it's going to be very close.
Here we go then. Jensen versus Kian. 3 laps of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Different track. Jensen a little bit slow off the line. Kian right in behind him then. As we make our way towards turn 1. As I say, these two developed a little bit of a rivalry. Culminating today in Monaco when there was a little bit of contact. Kian wasn't very happy. So will Kian maybe try and seek revenge on the Ferrari driver? As we look towards the inside, Kian is going to go down the inside on the Ferrari. Is he able to make his way through? They're still banging wheels. Kian barges his way through on the Ferrari and takes the lead of the 3-lapper as that was contact there. The rear end, Jensen barges Kian out the way and goes through. And I think the stewards might want to have a little bit of a conversation about that move.
I was suffering with a bit of lag, so I didn't actually see the move, thankfully. So I'll leave that one down to the chat.
Okay. That did seem very close. From what I could see, it looked like Jensen went straight into the back of Kian. And Ollie's saying that is a penalty. Jensen saying... no, Solar saying Jensen is lagging like mad, but that seems sus. We've got a lot of people calling for a Jensen penalty in the chat. It looks like Kian is still going to try and win this on track anyway. Why wouldn't you? And looking towards the inside line is Kian. Down to turn 1 we go. And Kian does get the move done, but for how long? Because the inside line now for Jensen. Jensen is lagging a hell of a lot in this race. Kian on the inside line once again and does get through into the lead once more. Jensen with a better exit on the up and under though, but Kian is going to hold the first place for the time being.
Yeah.
Will we see Jensen maybe make another one of those Jurassic dive bombs? It doesn't look like it. By the looks of it in the chat, it sounds like a penalty to Jensen.
Yeah, it does. It does sound a lot like a penalty. So we'll see what the race plays out and see what happens before we make that decision.
It is interesting. It's a very close race between them. They're both using a lot of battery. as Jensen gets a little bit out of shape. It's so hard to tell what is going on with the Ferrari because he's lagging around so much. Runs
Yeah.
off the track there, and Kian is growing that lead a little bit, but Jensen will have the overtake boost as he now goes through one of the styrofoam boards, and that is going to crumble down a little bit in the background. Kian will lead us over the line to begin lap 3 then. They've got relatively the same battery. If anything, it's Kian with a few percent more. Kian does get the fastest lap as well. And Jensen just lagging behind a little bit, no pun intended. He is lagging a lot, I must say. But Kian looks like he's starting to take the reins of this race now and is just trying to see this one out towards the end.
Yeah, he seems to have. He's kept his cool, obviously, with the contact. He's controlled the race well. He obviously went and made the overtake to take the lead. And has been sitting quite comfortable in front, but there's still chance for Jensen here to make a move. We may see a desperate lunge as well.
And again, it does come to contact, the same corner that it was at last time. And Kian gets a 2-second penalty, but that has penalty written all over it. Jensen is weaving. He's slowing down to give Kian the win. He knows that that is not the way that you should be taking victories, and it is going to be Kian that wins this race. 2 laps, and at the same corner, it all kicks off.
Yeah, I mean, he saw his mistake in the final lap there. Fair play to him for pulling up and giving up that position straight away. So won't dwell too much on it. It was a good race for most, and just a shame about the contact. But Kian making his way into the quarterfinals. We're looking like what do we say? A League One team has made it into the quarterfinals, perhaps.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like Grimsby have just gone and beat Manchester United, and they're now in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. You just it's a shock.
It's a shock, but equally the draw's been not too terrible, and he's won when he needed to. So very well done to Kian. He moves into the quarterfinals, which will be raced at another date. So let's see what happens with the next one, which is Ollie and Solar. I am going to just take a 2-minute break.
No worries.
What was the gap for Kian?
15.5 seconds.
Okay, so that is a new record. Yeah, so I will be back in just a couple of minutes.
No problem at all, Mikey. So, our next race then, Solar versus Ollie. This should be an interesting one. GG's all throughout. Prancing Horse, or known as Jensen on EA, taking the blame. He knows that accident was his fault, but like Mikey said, we won't dwell on that. And we will move through to the next race then. Solar versus Ollie. And this one is going to be interesting. Ollie saying postpone race to tomorrow. I have to go to dinner. Please postpone my race. We can't postpone your race. We are running all of the round 2 races now. Prancing Horse saying cheers for having me, JP. Was fun anyways. Thank you all. Thank you for joining us, Prancing Horse. We do appreciate you tuning in. I think what we're going to have to do in the case of Ollie not being able to race and Solar being able to, Solar might have to get a bye into the next round. Although saying that, Ollie, are we on about the wrong Ollie here? I think it is Ollie Football that is against Solar. Oh, it is Oliver87. We might, Ollie, if you could get out of a car then, apologies, I should have clarified that. You're talking about Ollie against Andy. To be honest, it might just have to be a bye to Solar. Because we can't postpone a round 2 race to then go into round 3 and all that sort of thing. But obviously we will definitely run more of these in the future. That will be better ran. We will schedule them over a few couple of days and whatever. So it won't be put like this. So it does look like Andy, I think it is. Yes, Andy will be getting a bye. We will go with Solar versus Ollie for this race. And Oliver 87 will be eliminated. Then Andy will get a bye into round 3.
What I missed?
What you have missed is that Oliver 87 is no longer able to compete. He's gone for his dinner. So I kind of took the decision to say, well, Andy will just get a bye into round 3 then, as Oliver isn't able to race. So
yeah, I mean, we can. What we'll do is we'll push Andy's race back to the final slot, and if Ollie 87's back,
yeah,
or BP Ace is here, so BP Ace could take the position if as a forfeit. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. Is Andy still in the chat? Would he be willing to? I just want to say, while there is no giveaway, there is me eating a massive slab of Victoria Sponge.
Oh, come on. You can't be. I'm absolutely starving, and you've just banged out the biggest slice of Victoria Sponge I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Mikey's rage baiting me on the commentary.
Yeah, it's great. I'm a bit worried about what we're getting.
Zen, so the situation is Oliver 87 he's not able to race anymore. So Oliver, the first question is, if we push your race back to the end of round 2, will you be able to compete? Or is it you are now off and you're not going to be able to compete today? If that is the case and you're not able to compete, Zen, would you want to jump in place of Oliver 87?
He was the next. Actually,
stop wolfing down the Victoria Sponge. You're still on the stream here, Mikey boy.
BPH wasn't the second closest.
Who was the second closest?
It was AERT Ollie.
Ah.
So BP Ace lost by 0.388 of a second. Ollie lost by 0.151.
Okay, so we need to try and contact AERT Ollie.
I mean, yeah, if he's not in the chat, then let's not go out of our way. You know, we're doing everything we can. We can't sit and babysit people. Andy, are you in the chat? If you are, pop up, because at the end of the day, realistically, you should get a bye. But if you're happy to race BPAs, then we'll go ahead with it.
Solar and Ollie Football still out on track fighting, and this is a very close fight between the Red Bull and the Aston Martin. Ollie Football looking down the inside on Solar and does make the move into the lead. Solar back round the outside though and does get the position once more. This is a Titan matchup, isn't it? This isn't no David versus Goliath. This is Goliath versus Goliath.
Yeah, and this is one that that Solar said he was worried about. He wasn't confident racing against Ollie Football. So let's see whether Ollie can shake the fear into Solar and take the win. But they're both saving battery. I think this last lap could be a big one.
This is going to be very close between them. Red Bull versus Aston Martin. And it looks like the Red Bull is just waiting in the wings, hunting down towards the final lap. You can see, though, Ollie Football using a lot more battery. Solar has got a lot more battery saved up. So Ollie Football, I think, maybe struggling on this final lap. 60% to 70%. And it's Ollie Football that has the earlier mentioned battery. Solar does set the fastest lap of the race. Ollie Football down towards turn 1 is going to lunge down the inside. Is he able to keep it on the road? Yes. Is he able to keep it ahead of the Aston Martin? No, just a little bit too deep for the Aston Martin driver. And Ollie Football now into second place is going to go for it again down the inside. Is the Red Bull able to get through? It's yes for the time being, but Solar is going to fight this back on the outside. Ollie Football is now a car length ahead. Make it half a car length as Solar back down the inside. Little bit of a lock up for him. Ollie Football is trying to chase him. This is a beautiful fight from the Red Bull and the Aston.
That's incredible driving. You know, just when you thought Ollie had lost his chance, and then he does it again. And even with all that battling, he's still got, you know, that much battery. So, yeah, I still think there's a chance that either one of them can win this.
Into the final corner is going to be the last overtaking zone, but it is Solar with more battery than the Red Bull. Ollie Football sat in behind. Solar is still leading. This is the run to the final corner then. Solar has just got enough battery over Ollie Football to take this on track. Ollie Football, I guess, thought about diving down the inside, but there wasn't a gap there. And Solar does progress to round 3.
It was a brilliant race from both, and I think it's a shame to see one of them leave the tournament, but Solar obviously proving why he's one of the best in the league.
Exactly that. People do fear the name Solar when they step into MOR, and that is the exact reason why. He beats Ollie Football by 6.5 tenths of a second, and Solar does move through to round 3 then. What is our next battle then?
Next up, we have Mr. Smith against HDL Lama.
Beautiful. That should be a very good race. Oliver87, are you saying that you will be able to race or not?
I think HTL Lama needs an invite if anyone could do that.
I don't believe I have him added, to be completely honest. So hopefully someone that is still in the lobby does. I'll send him my EA just in case. Okay, right. So, next race is Mr. Smith versus Llama. Llama I don't have added. I've told him to add me. Whether he will or not is a different story. HTL Llama. Oh no, he is there. HTL Llama. We will get him in. And this will be our third second round battle of the evening. We just need Solar to get out of his car.
Come on,
Mr.
Solar.
Mr. Smith versus Llama then. Up next.
Another cracking round.
This is going to be one that's very close. Are you enjoying that Victoria Sponge there, Mikey?
I was, but it's all gone now.
What? How?
Because I am not a small person.
You know what? I'm not going to comment. I'm just going to sit here and commentate the F1.
Good idea, sir.
I think that's the safest bet for me. As we will move through Mr. Smith versus Llama then.
Just a little mention on Twitch. We're 13 followers away from 600, which is an amazing achievement. And on TikTok, we're 8 away from 3,800. So let's hope we can hit those targets very soon.
Emmanuel, I'm not even gonna make light of what you have said in the Twitch chat. As HDL Llama versus Mr. Smith gets underway then. The McLaren driver down the inside at turn 1. Llama still leading this race. But Mr. Smith trying to make his way through. Both of them using a fair amount of battery. It looks like Llama is going to use the most battery as we make our way now downhill and slalom through the end of the first sector. And Mr. Smith settling in behind, saving a lot more battery than the Ferrari. If I had to ask you, Mikey, who is your money on, what would your answer be?
Llama. I'm going full send Llama.
Full send Llama. No hesitation whatsoever. Just guaranteed it's going to be Llama. That is that. Mr. Smith in second place at the moment. Llama is leading. And the Ferrari driver using a bit more battery out in front. But it does look like it is giving him a healthy gap to try and win this race. As we move towards the end of lap 1 and the start of lap 2. You can see Llama weaving to try and break the slipstream out in front. The McLaren does not want to get involved. The McLaren does want to get involved, I can assure you that much. He doesn't want to weave around too much and maybe have a little bit of a moment and get into the wall somewhere. It's very easy to do that when you are weaving around. Mr. Smith still chasing down Llama then. Llama is using more battery than Mr. Smith, but it seems to be working for him at the moment.
Yeah, Llama looks in control at the moment. I think he's just trying to keep them. I think on most tracks, if you keep people at around 7-8 tenths, you can usually sort of defend against any burst of battery. But yeah, Llama's keeping him at a safe distance, and I think he'll focus on trying to build up some battery.
It does seem like that. Mr. Smith in behind on about 40%. Llama on about 40 as well. And HCL Llama, the gap about 5 tenths of a second. The Ferrari saving a bit more battery on this lap towards the final lap. The battery relatively equal now then. And the gap around half a second between them. Llama versus Mr. Smith. Ferrari versus McLaren. And Mr. Smith just looks like he's lacking that little bit. He now runs off the road as well in the pursuit of some lap time. Llama trying to gain some of that battery back that he used in the opening 2 laps. And Llama begins the final lap then. And I think if anything, unless anything untoward happens, like you say, Mikey, Llama has got this under control.
It looks apparently.
Oh, never mind. Llama gonna have to defend as Mr. Smith flying down the inside line. Sorry to interrupt you, Mikey. That was a bold move. It caught me off guard. I'm sure it caught Llama off guard too. Llama managing to defend it, that got very close.
It did, yeah. It did. It was clean. It was late, but it was brave, and I respect Smith for the attempt, and I also respect Llama for seeing it coming. But yeah, very good racing from both. I'm just having a look at the future rounds, and if things go the way that they're looking like they go, Solar and Llama could meet in the semi-final.
That feels like a final matchup. That doesn't feel like a semi-final. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a big opportunity here for an out, like not an outsider, but for someone unexpected to be in the final, and one of the big hitters going home early.
Most certainly, and it looks like it is going to be Mr. Smith as one of those big hitters that will be going home early. He is using all the battery to try and get up to the back of HCL Llama, but it's just not enough for the McLaren driver, and Llama is going to win then. The gap between them as they cross the line is going to be massive because Mr. Smith decides to put it into the pit wall, but it is Llama that wins this race then. Solar has just put in the chat, shit, it's Spa as well for the semis, which is so bad. Better get practicing.
It was a very good race from Llama. Commiserations to Smith. He put up a good fight, and yeah, another great round of battling. What was the gap there?
I didn't actually see, but it would have been, because Smith retired, it would have been the casual 10 seconds that it is when someone retires.
Yeah, cool. So, next up, we will go to Merck against Lawless Fever. And BP Ace, if you are online, if you want to step up for the race after that and race against Andy, please, that would be appreciated. You can race as Oliver is unable to do so.
BP Ace is not online at the minute, but it says he says he's setting up his wheel now. So we will get that fight done then. Next up,
so we'll go for Merck against Lawless Fever then next, please.
Merck versus Lawless Fever. Lawless Fever just getting into his car now. And there
Sander,
we go.
you're
then.
racing after the next two.
They're both going in Aston Martin. Both of
Let's
them
go.
in the Astons. Our
Let's go.
first inter-team fight in this tournament so far. And that will prove to be very interesting, I think. Bahrain always... It's not as difficult, I don't think, as Austria to save battery. But you do want to use it in all the correct places, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, then. We load into the lobby. We just wait for them to get their setups and all that sort of thing done. How many more rounds have we got after this one, Mikey?
After this one, we've got 4 races left of round 2.
Beautiful.
Then we've got the quarterfinals, semi-final, and finals, which will be done at a later date.
Yeah. No worries.
I've had to block like 6 or 7 people. Oh, here we go, 6, 7, whatever. From the TikTok chat tonight, which is good.
That sounds very interesting. Right. Away with the 6-7 and on to the racing then. As Emmanuel says, JP my Pookie, how are you, man? First of all, if you ever call me that again, I will find you and I will hurt you. And secondly, yeah, I'm doing really well. This has been a really nice stream. It's been really good. Was that contact down at turn 1?
It wasn't. It was just a rear end loss.
And the gap now 1.6 seconds. I would have said Lawless Fever is the favourite for this race.
Yeah,
but
this would be a massive comeback.
It's going to have to be a massive comeback for Lawless Fever. It's going to have to be an upset for Merck if he is to win it. As Lawless Fever is clawing some of that time back, but he's going to have to use a lot more battery to get up to the back of Merck. And that's ultimately going to give Merck the advantage. Towards the end of the middle sector we go then. Lawless Fever, the gap 1.2 seconds. It is decreasing. Lawless Fever is gaining on him. But it doesn't look like it's gaining quick enough for him. And he's using a lot of the battery. Whereas Merck is able to save a lot more. Lawless Fever is now into the overtake boost.
Yeah, that was a key moment, I think. With the mistake, the pressure's on against Lawless Fever, but they've brought that gap down. Can they now spend a lap rebuilding the battery and then see what they can do for the final lap? I think it's going to be a big challenge, but it'd be very impressive if they can.
This is a very crucial lap for Lawless Fever to try and regen some of that battery and also keep tabs on Merck as well. It's going to be very, very close to see who is going to take this. Merck looking for the upset. Lawless Fever looking for the comeback. You could not call it if you tried. Lawless Fever is struggling a little bit for time. Is saving more battery than last lap. But that's allowing Merck to save more battery as well. As Merck, the gap fluctuating around a second. It's not coming down too much. It is going to come down to the final lap as Merck now goes a little bit wider. And that's going to gain Lawless Fever a little bit of time. He doesn't go off the track, but it has cost him a couple of tenths. As into the middle sector, it is still the battery advantage for Merck over Lawless Fever. And surely it's going to take a mistake from Merck if Lawless Fever is to win this. Lawless Fever, 4 tenths back then, but no battery. 10% battery he's got. He has got close, but he's not recharged much. Merck has been able to. Final lap then between Merck and Lawless Fever. Lawless Fever with the fastest lap. Merck with the position towards turn 1. And they're nearly on the same battery now. So this is where it gets very, very close. Lawless Fever trying to get past his Aston Martin teammate in this tournament. Merck just trying to stay ahead, saving as much battery as he can for the latter part of the lap. Lawless Fever, you would argue, is a little bit quicker, but Merck has got the advantage of having the battery, which makes you a lot quicker. As Merck into the middle sector then. Lawless Fever just trying to regen some of that battery. They're on pretty similar battery now. But it doesn't look like Lawless Fever is close enough. It's been a good comeback from him either way. But it just doesn't look like it's going to be enough for Lawless Fever. As we make our way through the final sector then. We've just got a few more corners to go in this battle. Lawless Fever versus Merc. Is Lawless Fever going to send it down the inside? It's all going to come down to the final corner and the final straight. Lawless Fever is right on the back of Merc. Towards the final corner we go. Merc able to drain more battery. Lawless Fever has to duck in behind. It's now a drag race towards the line. Merc versus Lawless Fever. They both run out of battery. Merc gets the upset.
That's another great battle. I think we were robbed of a real big fight by Lawless's mistake, but a great battle to get back into it, and a very well deserved win for Merc in the end. Very well defended. So yeah, great job by both there.
A brilliant battle between both of them. It is Merc that will be going to round 3 in this tournament. Next battle will be BP Ace versus Andy.
So, yes, UFC Harvey needs an invite if you've got them, JP.
No worries, I should do.
Next up, we have BP Ace against Andy. So we've got 4 races left, which should be done in about 15-20 minutes, which will set us up nicely for the quarterfinal, semi-final, and final in the coming days. Great stuff.
Right.
Really enjoyed this first go.
Yeah, it's been really interesting. And I think, you know, it's almost a bit like the podcast. Once we kind of iron it out in the future, obviously, this is the sort of thing that we can run again. And we'll iron a few things out and get it a little bit, let's say, more procedurally correct. Do it over a couple of days. And it should run a lot smoother as well. BP Ace versus Andy then. For our next race. You would...
Is Andy in a seat?
Yes, Andy is in a Ferrari. He is in now.
Let's go. Come on, Andy. Big upset I want from you here.
And this would be a big upset if Andy Price were to beat BP Ace. BP Ace has got very lucky that someone has had to back out, and that is the reason that he is back in this tournament. Was out in round 1 was BP Ace, which was not to be expected. But has got very lucky, is back in the tournament, and we'll have to see what he can do now then.
Yeah, thank you for BPA for stepping in as well. Just want to shout out that we have turned comments off on TikTok due to quite a few horrible people, let's say. So apologies to those that are in the TikTok and aren't able to drop a message. If you do want to chat, come over to our Twitch and we can have a little chat in there.
Here we go then. BP Ace on pole. Andy Price in second. And we get away with this race then. Andy Price immediately ducking into the slipstream of BP Ace. I think we're all kind of rooting for Andy Price here, aren't we, Mikey? We all want the upset. We all like the underdog.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm very good friends with Andy, and you know, BP Ace is a great guy. We've seen a lot of him recently, joining in the VCs and stuff. They're both great people, so I hope, you know, I'd be happy if we could see them both go through. But yeah, soft spot for Andy. Let's hope he can cling on and maybe take advantage and try and get a sneaky quarterfinal out of him.
It does look like Andy is giving it everything to try and get through on BP Ace. Red Bull versus Ferrari. And Andy, he's, as much as we say he's the underdog, he's not slow, is he, Mikey?
He's not slow, no. He's not slow in the slightest. He's a very good racing driver. I get frustrated with Andy in a nice way because, I'm lazy. I don't run assists. I could quite easily turn them off and race. I probably wouldn't be at the front to start with, but eventually I've heard a lot of people say that I'll be at the front eventually. I'm just too lazy and I can't be bothered. I just enjoy racing with the assists. I wish Andy was lazy like me sometimes because I think with assists, he would be very, very quick.
Yeah.
Almost I'd say he's probably going to be the same as me with assists, or if not quicker. But I respect the fact that he's persistent with the no assists and rate it very highly.
The gap about 4/10 as we end lap 1 then. He's not falling off the back of BP Ace. He's having to use a little bit more battery, but he isn't falling away from the Ferrari. He's definitely giving him a fight to think about here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is where you'll see the best of BP Ace as well, because he's very, very good, and I don't know how he does it. It's just extending that battery. I've raced against him and I've been like, oh, we're pushing hard, and he's messaged me after, or he's joined the BC saying, yeah, I don't know, I had 95% battery the whole time, and I'm like, well, great.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing well, but I just don't know how he manages to store so much battery. It's very impressive.
It is absolutely, it's insane when you find someone that is that quick. You can see the gap is now growing a little bit between BP Ace and Andy Price. The gap now around half a second. BP Ace, again, with 70% battery. Andy Price with none.
And that just backs up what I've said, he's very, very consistent and very good with his battery management. It does get very frustrating because, you could sit there and spend a lap and drop down to a second and be like, right, I've built the battery, they must have burnt, and you'll still have more battery than you. It's very, very impressive to say the least.
Exactly that. The gap now over a second then. Not that it matters. Andy Price will get the overtake boost anyway. As I'm being bombarded with messages in the Discord. I don't know if you maybe want to check that out, Mikey, and come and be my wingman in the general chat. As Andy Price and BP Ace continue on fighting then. And Andy Price just falling off the back of BP Ace now. BP Ace, he's got back into this a little bit luckily, but he's taken the opportunity that he's got. And BP Ace now does look like he is going to win and progress through to round 3, which obviously will be played on Thursday. BP Ace 1.5 seconds ahead of Andy. A massive shout out and fair play to Andy as well. Andy running in second. He's only 1.2 seconds off of BP Ace. And to be honest, for me, that is an achievement. I wouldn't be as close as that to BP Ace. So, very fair play. Andy weaving about, trying to get close to BP Ace. And BP Ace is slowing down. BP Ace lets Andy go. He's pushing Andy across the line. It's like that scene from Cars. Oh my word. Andy Price gets pushed over the line by BP Ace. And Andy Price through into round 3.
Wow.
It's like that
I would
scene.
say,
oh my god.
Yeah, that's very respectful from BP Ace. He's just set up his rig to do that. And, Andy will hate the fact that BP Ace has done that, but that's great. Yeah, that's it's full respect to BP Ace there. Yeah, well done to him and well done to Andy. Andy is through to the quarterfinals.
What is our next matchup then, Mikey?
So next up we have it's MUFC Harvey against AERT Sander.
This should be quite an interesting race. I think both of us were taken a bit by surprise of Harvey's pace in the first one at Austria. Can he carry that over in this race? We need, who is it? MUFC Harvey.
Yes, MUFC
Let's
Harvey.
get him in the lobby then. I've just sent him an invite. Mikey, we might need Ollie's banhammer in the Discord general chat, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Very interesting. Yes, Ollie's already in there. Ollie's already in there. Oh, I love this Discord so much.
I just don't understand, Yes, we said we would do the whole thing. We are 2.5 hours into the stream. It's 12:30. A lot of our people are not just from England. I think it's fair to say that we can extend this and maybe not just do it all in one night. And I understand that a few people are frustrated by it, but equally, we've been on stream for 2.5 hours with no break. Yes, I went and got a bit of cake, which was great.
Yeah, you lucky sod. Don't take that for granted. You went and got a slab of Victoria sponge. I've been sat here raw dogging.
Yeah. People act as if we're just going to just shit all over them and say, well, if you can't race, you're out. That's it. Bye bye. That's not the case. We will make sure that everyone can take part. And if we do half of the quarterfinals tomorrow, half of them on Thursday, we'll do that.
Yeah.
It's 3-lapper races and it will go a lot quicker. But we just need to maybe work together and not just say, oh, well, this is shit. You're all taking the piss, blah, blah, blah. And as you can see, that's what's just happened in the Discord is they joined the server today. They started getting lippy straight away. And they've now gone. And I can confirm that literally everybody in the server is celebrating that. But we'll go back to the racing. It's Harvey versus Sander, Mercedes against Mercedes.
Well, we all know the duel in the desert from 2014 between the two Mercedes drivers. It was Lewis Hamilton that won out that day. Could we see another duel in the desert here today with Sander and Harvey? It's Harvey that is in second place at the moment, maybe thinking about sending the dive bomb, decides to sit in behind as well. Sander, still your leader then. Now I
won't say that Harvey's not going to win because I said that last time and he won. So we will just let I will let them just race and see what happens.
Yeah, I think we were both taken by surprise by how well Harvey did. But from the information that we've got, I would have said Sander is the favourite. I think Sander, he's a proven winner in MOR. He's won a few social races. Harvey, I want to say hasn't, if I'm not mistaken. But Harvey looking very good. I mean, the gap only 0.3 as we come towards the end of lap 1. It looks like he's keeping tabs with Sander.
Yeah, I actually think Harvey may have won a race.
Ooh.
No, they haven't. I'm mistaken. They have not won a race, so that is incorrect.
Harvey is really chasing down Sander. Sander saving a lot more battery, though. And I think this may be a case of BP Ace versus Andy Price, where Harvey's just been burning the battery to stick with him, try and make a move. And then on the final lap, Sander is just going to pull away. But Harvey is looking towards the inside line of Sander and takes the position. We have got a real fight on our hands here, Mikey. Harvey now leads. Sander trying to take the position back again, not able to get his way through. And Harvey is now out in front. Sander's got plenty more battery, but the track position could be key.
Yeah, I just think Harvey's is performing excellent, and if he doesn't win, then I think he's in for a shout for what I would say is a potential driver of the day. But actually, do you want to know a crazy stat?
Go on.
We hit our 100th league race the other day. We've had 34 different winners.
Oh, wow.
34 different winners in 100 races. I think that's quite a lot.
I think that's quite a lot, especially when you think, like, for me, I would have said there was the dominant era of you, then there was Billy Mewis, then there was Milk, then there was Solar, That's a lot of different winners when we had all those dominant periods.
Yeah, there's 34 different winners. I think it's incredible. But we'll get back to the action. Sanders just retook the lead.
Sander is now back in the lead of this race then. Harvey in second. Sander with much more battery than Harvey. And it does look like Harvey's attempt at this win is a little bit behind, but has put up an absolutely incredible fight to try and stick with Sander at the moment. The duel in the desert, it definitely lived up to the name. These two have fought away here in Bahrain tonight. And it does look like Harvey is going to be taking second place. He unfortunately won't go through to round 3. But Sander also putting up a good fight. He saved a lot of battery as well. And Sander is going to take the win then. Unless something untoward happens, there could always be a spin or a crash in the final couple of corners. Maybe a penalty as well that would demote Sander down as well. But for the time being, it does look like it's going the Dutchman's way. Harvey in second place and doesn't have any battery to use anymore. Sander through the final corner then. And it will be Sander that progresses on to round 3 of the tournament.
Very good drive from Sander. Yeah, it looks like just a little bit too much for Harvey, but a very good drive. And again, a very good performance tonight. One they can be proud of for sure. Yeah, another good race. So we've got 2 left, and we've got Lunar Eclipse against Shaggy and Alvin Lover against Tilly Brown. Tilly Brown raced at the start of this stream over 2 hours ago, and they are now taking part in the final round of round 2. That's a big gap.
That is a very big gap, and I don't think there was any practice at all for Tilly. I don't think they left the lobby as far as I'm aware. So that's going to be difficult for Tilly, most certainly. Well, 2 more rounds of round 2 then. And then we will be done for today. Do remember we have got the debut of the pro clubs coming for you tomorrow. So do make sure that you tune in for that if you are about. As it will be Shaggy versus Tilly then. Lunar Eclipse has also taken a car for some reason. Harvey not out of his car yet either. Are we 100% sure it's Tilly versus Lunar Eclipse, Mikey? Or Tilly versus
So
Shaggy?
it's Lunar Eclipse against Shaggy. Tilly's racing in the final race.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, then. Our penultimate race of tonight. It is Shaggy versus Lunar Eclipse. I must say, I don't really know much about Shaggy. I've not really seen them race at all. So it's quite hard to call this one, I think.
Very, very hard indeed.
Let's see what happens then here at Bahrain tonight. As I mentioned, we'll have pro clubs coming for you tomorrow night at about 10 o'clock. We will then have, I believe, round 3 of the 1v1 tournament or the Eliminator on Thursday. And that will be round 3, round 4, and round 5. The quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the finals. And then we will probably have some sort of other wacky idea to bring you over the weekend. So if you are new, do make sure you are following down below these streams. I must say, I've found this very fun, Mikey. This has been a really cool little side quest.
I think it's been. I think it's been really good. Really good. I've really enjoyed it.
Lights out, and away we go then for Shaggy and Lunar Eclipse. Who is going to come out on top of this fight? Cadillac versus Alpine. And it looks like Lunar Eclipse already round the outside of turn 1. And Lunar Eclipse is leading this race then. Shaggy in second place will burn a bit of the battery to try and gain some time back again. But doesn't look like that's going to work at the moment. Lunar Eclipse still leading. Both of them on relatively the same battery. Shaggy a little bit wide off the road there. Gets a monster exit though. And is trying to gain on the Alpine. No way through into that right-hander. Now we go into the very tight left-hander. Shaggy was using a lot of battery and gaining quickly. You can see both of them with full batteries. This is definitely the most DRS management we've seen so far.
Yeah, very slow, very slow. First opening lap, but I think it's strategic, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. You know, again, it takes me back to the cycling in the Olympics. If you keep them behind you and you've got 100% battery, they ain't getting past.
Exactly that, and Lunar Eclipse doing a very good job of that at the minute. 80% battery to 80% battery, though they're both saving as much as possible. As Lunar Eclipse does set the fastest lap of the race. Shaggy is gaining towards the outside of turn 1 though. The Cadillac locks up, sends it in deep though. Now looks for the up and under. Shaggy using the battery once more. Lunar Eclipse burning the battery too. Shaggy using a little bit more. Towards the outside of turn 4 goes Shaggy once again. Not able to get through. And Lunar Eclipse will continue on in the lead. But the battle is starting to heat up now on the middle of this lap. As Shaggy is going to look towards the inside line. Lunar Eclipse able to defend that relatively easily on the outside line. And Shaggy in second place then will need to try and think of some other game plan to try and get through on the Alpine. Shaggy still within the overtake boost though. Lunar Eclipse out in front has got plenty more battery than Shaggy, and that will be helping the Alpine. The Cadillac looking towards the inside line. Not able to make a move though, once again burning the overtake boost. But as we move towards the final lap, it does look like Lunar Eclipse has got this all under control and will be progressing to round 3 of the tournament. Shaggy is going to have to pull something out of the bag here. Nearly running out of battery. Is looking very dangerous to the outside of turn 1. Goes the Cadillac once again. A little bit of a lockup on the outside line. Looking for the better exit with the deeper run into turn 1. But nothing doing for the Cadillac at the moment. Lunar Eclipse with plenty of battery. Shaggy now running out. And it does look like Lunar is going to take this to the flag.
A very close race though. I thought there was a potential for a bigger gap here, but I think it's been a very good race and another good performance from Shaggy.
Yeah, most certainly. I think, you know, Lunar Eclipse has obviously had the advantage with the battery. Is down the inside. Looks Shaggy once more. That got very close between the Cadillac and the Alpine. Somehow they don't come to blows and the Cadillac stays behind. No battery for Shaggy. Plenty of battery. 65% for Lunar Eclipse, who could easily go another few laps in this race with battery like that. But Lunar Eclipse has been under control. These races have been a lot closer than I think a lot of people would have expected, myself included. But for Shaggy, they are going to crash out of the tournament as Lunar Eclipse rounds the final corner and will progress to round 3 of the Eliminator.
Performance from Lunar Eclipse. Another great drive and a deserving winner.
Exactly that. We now move to our final race of the evening then, which is, Mikey?
That is Alban Lover against Tilly Brown.
And that is our final race of the night. And then we'll be back with you tomorrow for some pro clubs. And we'll be back with you on Thursday for the final 3 rounds of this tournament. Harvey saying the Team 3 matchup. Are they teammates in the Saturday division?
I believe they may well be, yes. So far, the quarterfinals are Sander against Lama, Lunar Eclipse against Merck, Andy Price against Kian, and then the winner of this race, so Alban Lover or Tilly Brown, coming up against Solar the Eater.
We've definitely got some good brackets there, that is for sure. Definitely some close races as well. The gap between them was, it doesn't say because, 5.3 seconds as Shaggy came into the pit lane at the end of the race. So it's time then for Tilly versus Harvey, the final race of the night. Before we get underway, Kian saying, who were you racing? You were racing Andy Price, Kian, in round 3 tomorrow.
So, final race of the night.
Final race of the night then. It's been a long one, hasn't it, Mikey?
Yeah, Alban Lover's just said he has disconnected, so we'll get them back in. I think we've had some cracking battles today, and I think this has been a really successful stream.
Most certainly. This has been really, really fun to do. I think the battles have been great. It seems like the drivers have enjoyed it. I've most certainly enjoyed it. It seems like the viewers have enjoyed it as well. I do want to give a big shout out to everyone spamming abuse in the chat. Thank you for viewing the stream and earning us money. We really appreciate it, putting money into our pockets. You make what we do possible. So thank you very much. That's really kind of you to come through and watch. All your engagement invites more people to come through and watch us as well. So thank you very much for the support. We really appreciate it. We move on to the final race then between Tilly and Albon Lover. Any bets, Mikey?
No, before the last 2 races, I put down, in where I've been editing the thingy, I put down every person's name and how much they win by. Obviously, I don't know how much they win by, but for round 7, I put Luna wins by. And then for round 8, I have put down that Alban Lover is going to win.
Ooh.
So, I'm backing Alban Lover, but Tilly had a very good round 1. But it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see. I just hope for a good race.
Emmanuel saying, everyone say hashtag Jack if you want to say JP good boy. Jack and Blake have then replied with hashtag Jack. Why do you people do this to me? In every
Emmanuel,
stream.
if you drop 50 gifted subs, I will sit here and say to JP, good boy.
No! What am I hearing?
It'd be worth it.
These streams
Tilly
are
leads.
so weird. Tilly leading Albon Lover from the outside then into turn 4. And Albon Lover does take the lead from the Red Bull. I wish I was a normal commentator sometimes. I wish I didn't have you fools in the chat rage baiting me constantly.
You wish you were sat just commentating to yourself.
Where? There's levels to the game, I would say. There's levels to the game. Tilly then...
Takes a lot to get to 24 people.
Exactly. Tilly in second place, about 6/10 off of Albon Lover. Tilly trying to chase down Albon. Emmanuel saying, everyone say hashtag Jack if you want to hear Jack say 6-7. You people are outrageous. Focus on the racing, goddammit. as Albon Lover is still leading. Tilly has used all the battery already on lap 1. So Albon Lover pulling clear immediately. Tilly in second place. And the Red Bull driver struggling with the battery deployment early on. Albon Lover leading out in front. The gap just over a second now. Albon Lover on about 75% battery. Tilly on about 30%. So Albon Lover definitely taking the reins early on in this session.
Yeah, it's a strong start. Very strong start from Albon Lover, and it'll be interesting to see if they can keep this up.
Tilly 1.3 seconds behind, burning the battery as much as possible, just trying to get that little bit closer to Albon Lover, but it doesn't seem like it is going to work for the Red Bull. Albon Lover leading this race by 1.5 seconds. This is our final race of the evenings to get some hype in the chat. This is your final race before we move to end the stream. And then tomorrow night, we will have our inaugural Pro Club stream. And we'll get to see what all of our F1 drivers are like behind a football character. Rather, Emmanuel, what is that message that you have just put in the Twitch chat? That is terrible behavior.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
That honestly made me feel weird inside. I don't like that. That was weird. Oh dear. Anyway, on to the final lap of the night then. And Tilly, 1.8 seconds behind Albon Lover. Albon Lover is your leader at the moment. And the Williams driver doing everything that he needs to do to take victory in this race and progress to round 3. Tilly in behind has tried to fight away and was fighting away as hard as possible. But it does look like it's going Albon Lover's way at the moment. We will see what happens in the final half of this lap. I'm sure there will be maybe a little bit of chaos that might spice things up a little bit. But at the moment, it does look like it is going the way of Albon Lover as we move through into the middle sector then. And Albon Lover leading the way for now.
I'll do race from Albon Lover in control from the start, especially to say Tilly had such a strong round 1 as well. I think it's a statement drive from Albon, and got a good battle coming up with him and Solar.
Exactly that. Albon Lover looking to try and take the fight to probably the favourite in this tournament, Solar. But we will move through then round the final corner to end the evening with Albon Lover progressing to round 3. He sets the fastest lap. Tilly finishes about 4.2 seconds behind. And that is your round, or let's say your day 1 action all done and over with.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very, very good round 1 and 2. JP, I'm just sending you the graphics now so that we can show them on stream before we finish.
Beautiful. I have
just give me a minute.
Changed those. Well, I've changed the
I've
round
given you
1
round
results,
1.
and you've given me the
future fixtures. I'm just sending you the round 2 ones in just a second.
Perfect.
Excuse me.
It was definitely a long one. I assume you're ready for bed, Mikey. After.
I'll say that. I won't be able to sleep, so I'll probably end up gaming for a few hours, but meant to try and sleep, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. So we have managed to do a total of 23 races, which is quite a lot.
Just a few.
I have sent you round 2 graphics now, so if you want to get those loaded up.
Perfect. Let me just convert them to the Streamlabs resolution. While we do that, we will sort out the Streamlabs to make us full screen.
Club's attendance will be up after this stream. I'll sit and do it before we log off later today.
There we go then. We are all up and ready. You can see us on the stream, our beautiful mugs, ending the stream for you today. Thank you everyone that has joined us in the chat. This was a pretty, I would say, successful event.
Yeah, I'd say it's been very good, and thank you everyone for sticking around. We've had a consistent, 35 to 50 people watching all times, and I'm looking forward to getting the quarterfinal, semi-final, and finals done. Well done to everyone that made it. Well done to all those that took part. Well done to those in the TikTok chat who didn't abuse anyone and managed to like for 42,000. So a great achievement in there. Well done everyone, and thank you everyone in the Twitch for sticking around and gifting some subs and some bits as well.
Well, here are your graphics then, ladies and gentlemen. They are your round 1 results. As you can see on screen, all of the gaps decided, all of the winners that have been decided as well. And those round 1 results, we did have a few setups. It all went pretty normal though, I would have said. And then we moved on to round 2. They are your round 2 results as well. And round 2, of course, again, went very, very well. Blake trying to get a message in the chat while I scroll off these. And this then is your future bracket, the quarterfinals. The top 8 will turn into the top 4. The top 4 will turn into the top 2. And then there will be one final to decide the champion. Sander versus Llama, Lunar Eclipse versus Merc, Albon Lover versus Solar, Andy Price versus Kian. They are your quarterfinals. Mikey, if you had to pick a quarterfinal for what is going to be the best one, what do you reckon it's going to be?
I'm going for number 2. I think that's going to be the closest match. But I'm already looking at semi-final number 1 because you have the potential for Sander, Llama, Solar, and Albon Lover all being in the same bracket there. So I think semi-final 1 is going to be one to watch, and I really feel with the way that the draw's gone, you could be seeing Kian, Andy, Merc, or Luna realistically. One of those are going to be in the final, so I think it's going to be really, really, really exciting, and I'm hoping to see a surprise face in the final.
Most certainly. Well, you can see the chats from Blake and Ollie there spamming in the graphics. Well, that is the end of our stream then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. That was definitely very interesting. We'll be back with you on Thursday for the rest of the tournament. My name's been Jack. His name's been Mikey. He had Victoria Sponge. I'm very jealous. I'm now going to go and get some cake of my own. Mikey, any final words before we end?
No, just to thank you to everyone for tuning in, and well done to all the drivers, and commiserations to those that didn't get through, but we will be running it again, so keep the practice up, and we'll see you all tomorrow for another fun stream.
Exactly that. We will be back with you tomorrow for some Pro Clubs action, but of course before that we'll be running the social races and the championship events as well, and we will see you when we see you. Until we do, take care and ta-da.